inclusive world through caring for others. So I'm honored to have her host the event. We'll get into the gallery, so I'll let her actually speak and get that started.
Hey guys, I'm Laverne. As Brad said, it's such an honor to be with you guys and just hopefully, hosting and creating a space for so much talent and love to, communicate the wealth that we all hold within us in our hearts, especially during such a unique time, a pandemic. But we're going to get started. This is such a cool virtual tour. I've been in and through it, and I'm excited to host you all today. The first thing we're going to do is have one of the artists, his name is Garcia. He's going to play a song while we step through this virtual tour, which is super cool and super innovative. I love that Brad did this. A little bit about Jesse. He is like me from New Mexico, so we got some cool spirit vibes coming your way. He is of Korean descent, and he has had the unique and fortunate opportunity to be trained and taught in both classical and African art. So you will hear him now while you walk through this virtual experience and hopefully become so inspired by the immense amount of talent and spirit that are hanging on these virtual walls. Jesse, I would love you to take it away, and we will talk to you all after this virtual tour.
Oh, Adina, I'm sorry. Please record this.
Yes, I am already.
Thank you. Is Jesse muted? Is Jesse unmuted?
I cannot mute him. I can ask him to unmute, but maybe he's having some problems.
Let me see where he is.
Hang with us, guys. This is our first virtual tour. It's all going to come together, but just hang with us as we lock down Jesse so you can hear this music. There he goes.
There we go.
Sorry, it's hard to unmute while playing.
Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate that. So I'm gonna get right into it. So that's all the work from all the artists that we have here, the 5 different artists, all wonderful, beautiful pieces that they've done on their own. We're gonna tap in a little bit. Of course, we don't have enough time to really go in depth with each artist, but we're just gonna scratch the surface a little bit in connection with the Intentional Five. So the book that I wrote, right here. So this edition is actually an education edition, which was geared towards educators. But I also wanted to share how my work works in any field of work. And as you know, I'm also a designer. So I wanted to show how it also works working with creatives and people who spend a lot of time being dedicated in this type of work, in this craft. And I think what we'll have to show here is we'll be able to explain each value, which is vulnerability, experiences, relationship, gratitude, and evaluation. We'll be able to share that through the different artists' work and through questions, through a dialogue. So you guys are going to be in for a treat. We're going to talk a little bit very briefly, but we'll also have raffles that we'll be giving out, different gifts. We have a lot of sponsors that are contributing to this, and we'll be raffling some of those off right before intermission. So if you RSVP'd, you don't have to worry about buying tickets or anything. It's going to be free, and your name will be drawn, and you have the chance of winning something. So our first artist is Marissa Yesin. So if you can unmute her, or she can unmute herself, I guess.
Yeah, I got it.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm nervous now, actually.
So, Marissa, she's a self-taught artist. She's a director, a videographer, and she's from the UK. I don't know if you guys heard her speak yet. So that also, that's times 10. That's always a plus. So I met Marissa in Los Angeles, and I had the pleasure of being able to show her the city of Los Angeles my way, So I was the first person she was able to get on one of those scooters with, which was pretty exciting. But I was
meaningful moment, very meaningful.
I was able to work on that bucket list of hers and ride an American scooter. But through this very short interaction, I learned very quickly that she's just not an ordinary girl. You know what I mean? As we went through the city, as we went through Hollywood with a few friends, she paid really close attention to detail, even for camera phone pictures. I don't even know if you remember, I noticed that, but we were taking pictures and she was very, very attentive. And that, anyone that pays attention that much, that's a friend for life, because personally, I'm not even using my phone to take pictures in a serious sense. So for her to be able to take it that serious, it just was able to show me that she has a focus, and even with the little minute things. And as you see her work here, it shows the precision that it takes for her to do this type of work. I noticed that I didn't notice, I asked her, and she only uses a palette knife. Can you tell us more a little bit about how you create?
Yeah, so I kind of consider myself a bit of a lazy artist. I just like to get to it. Like even drawing them, I'm like, I can't wait to draw it, because the action is where I get to actually play with color. So yeah, it's literally just a palette knife and oil paint. And yeah, it's just a really layered technique that I have, where it's just trying to mix as many different colors. So what I really like about it is so diverse, because you look at one part of it and you can get many different accents of colors and moods and stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the vibe that I go for.
Awesome. And we're gonna skip along a little bit to one piece that I'm a little bit familiar with here.
Who's that guy? I wonder.
So this is a picture of me here, and I think you did a fine job here.
Okay, that's a huge compliment. If I've been told.
I think just the colors you chose and everything is just I really appreciate it, and I think it captures me pretty well. So with that being said, I guess my question to tie into vulnerability, because that's basically what you'll be connecting to is vulnerability.
Mhm.
So how has being vulnerable in your work kind of healed others, and how do you feel like it's also healed yourself?
Ooh, coming in hot, Bradley, coming in hot. All right. So how have I found that it's healed me and others? I think the process in which I work, I definitely have to tap into vulnerability. Like, even when I start a piece, I don't even have an idea of like what colors it's going to be or what it's going to look like. I really am like guided by God. Like, throughout the whole process, I'm like praying just for his like intervention, his creativity in that process, that
Hmm.
I actually have to be, I almost have to like surrender to another creative voice that kind
Right.
of helps me through that process. And especially during lockdown, I don't know about you, but I think all of us were twiddling our fingers like, what
Yeah.
am I going to do?
Right.
Like, to have
Right.
a form of like outlet. And especially for me, being on my phone all the time, I needed something to kind of like break that unhealthy cycle. So I hadn't painted in like 8 years, and I was like, yo, this is prime time. Like, if I don't do it now, I'll probably never do it. And it's something I've always knew that I was going to revisit. But
Hmm.
in like kind of, yeah, reconnecting with that like old hobby of mine, I kind of reconnected with God, and it kind of gave me a sense of solace in all the madness that was so up in the air in terms of like the world that we were, yeah, like what everyone was going through with like the virus and everything like that. It gave me that little safe haven of just like mental escape. So that was the healing, I think, for me. Like, I didn't feel like, oh, I'm like under duress and I'm locked in, because I think all of us felt like, what do we do with our time? So yeah.
Right. Thank you. And I think also the way you chose to paint, I feel like that's a form of vulnerability. Would you consider that vulnerable to choose that way of painting, or was that just something that kind of came natural to you with the palette and the oil painting?
Yeah. I mean, it depends. How do you view
I mean
it
the
in
palette
terms of
knife,
like,
sorry.
yeah, palette knife? Yeah. In what way do you think that shows vulnerability? Because I'm intrigued, because I don't know.
It just seems a bit less likely to fix mistakes because they're more globs, right? Aren't they more globs of paint?
Yeah, I feel like actually that's why I like the process a lot more, because it's like I can physically scrape it off and start again. And there's many a times
Mm,
where what I originally thought would work out doesn't. So there's actually a lot more flexibility. And what's good as well is that whatever preconceived idea that I might have had, which I normally don't, I can still alter that and then still kind of have something different. Like, what's amazing every time I look at a piece is like, I didn't expect it to look like that. Or I'm like, how did I even get from like A to B? And I'm just so grateful to like that there was that guidance like to finish. I think there's such a boosting your mood, like knowing that you can actually like finish a piece and look at it and feel like this embodies, you know, someone's personality. Like, more than anything, I do really want it to like capture people. I want it to feel still dreamlike, but in a way where it still feels like I can see and resonate with this person's energy or personality. So yeah.
awesome. Thank you for sharing.
All good, all good. Whew. Is that me done?
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate
No
your time.
problem.
Yeah.
Nah, thank you so much, Bradley.
All right, guys, we're going to get into the V in Verge, vulnerability. Brad just touched on it, and I'm going to read a little bit from his book right now. You're going to see the slide pop up on the screen. The text is kind of small, so don't pressure yourself to follow along, but I will try to do my best as a slightly dyslexic person to convey what he's trying to communicate to you guys. So here we go, vulnerability. Being well is more than just physical health. It is all-encompassing, connecting our mind, body, and spirit. The pursuit of wellness demands that you discover how you tick. What do you need to feed yourself more of? What should you deplete from your system? By engaging in the intentional 5, you will learn the answer to these questions. The intentional 5, which are woven throughout this book, will wrap around your life like a vein, integrating into every circumstance. In times of greatest need, they will inform your response and your demeanor. These choices are meant to work in you collectively, sustaining an even balance for all of your days. You must affirm these choices moment by moment in order to gear up for great improvements within yourself. This leads me to recall a conversation that I had with a friend as we went on a jog. We were discussing my book cover. She let me know that the man looks like he has no chance of survival. This was really interesting to hear because she had a point. The man hanging on the edge doesn't look too promising, but my goal for this man is actually quite different than one might think. He isn't meant to climb back up safely, but release. He is holding on for dear life, and yet my hope behind the image is that he will let go. Who is to say what lies beneath? We as onlookers can't actually see what he may fall into. I am sure this man would like to get back to what he knows, walking on land, but the unknown that lies beneath the cover of this book is where the story continues. Letting go here means letting go of people who people think you should be. Letting go of who people think you should be, letting go of pride that keeps you on the edge, letting go of your anger, letting go of nasty thoughts you have about yourself, letting go of harmful judgments of yourself and others, letting go of bitterness, letting go of friends that no longer fit into your vision, and letting go of fear. Once he is able to let go, he will soar into the unknown. That is where life is and where we all find our peace. That we all have our peace that we all have always known to exist. It is where we give thanks, live in joy, ready and willing to contribute to the world. Ultimately, we were created to grow, and growth always starts from inside of any living thing. You can win friends over by having them bend to your will, which stunts their potential for healthy growth, or you can apply the intentional 5 to every area of your life, resulting in much fruit to share with others. I will always choose real love and interactions over transactional relationships, and I hope that after you read this book, you will commit to that priority for yourself. I am confident that this commitment will give you the balance in life that you have been seeking. Okay, so that is the V for on Verge, vulnerability. Brad, are you ready for a couple questions, my author friend?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, so I love the conversation and just all that is vulnerability. We use it a lot in Freedom and Fashion and our work. There's such power there. But I wanted to ask you, because you talk a lot about letting go and you give a lot of cool examples, but what is the most challenging thing that you've had to let go?
Okay. Yeah, so for me, I'd say one of the most challenging things, and I think it is for a lot of people, but it's pride. So pride has been something that I think would have stunted me, and I probably wouldn't have written this book. I probably would have been in the same circumstance, because growing up in a tough neighborhood, pride is very important. So you can't let someone treat you a certain way. You have to react in a certain way, versus using that skill level that you have to calm down or make different decisions. But I think pride has also made me very vulnerable. Well, losing pride has also made me very vulnerable, because losing pride has also helped me be a better contributor to family and to friends. I can recall a moment one of my sisters asked me, well, she was basically saying that I didn't communicate really well. And pride was telling me, whatever she's saying doesn't make sense, because I know I communicate well and I wasn't even listening. So being able to get rid of pride was able to let me hear her for what she was really telling me, and knowing that I need to value what this person is saying, value what my sister is saying, and understand that she's saying it because that's truly how she feels, and not because I'm just confused about what's going on. So losing pride was able to let me see that clearly and know that when someone's speaking, giving up, actually take that time to listen and see where that comes from and what I can do to make steps or take steps to change from that.
That's awesome. It's so funny because in your answer, it sounds like vulnerability was a result of you losing or choosing to let go of your pride. Were there any, really quick, like, is there anything else that you feel is a result to you choosing to release yourself from pride?
Yeah. Ultimately, a better listener. So being able to release myself from pride doesn't allow me to have just natural reactions that I was taught to react in a certain, the reactions that I was taught to do because of where I'm from or what I'm used to. It actually helped me grow as far as when it comes to staying in the same. A lot of what we do is kind of conform to the same ways that we operate. And being able to let go of pride, it was a switch that I had to switch off in my mind. And being able to turn that switch in my mind allowed me to now be available to be there for people that are telling me things about myself or other people, and actually being able to grow in that way. So vulnerability was actually a gift that I wouldn't have known if I stayed in my comfort zone. So losing pride allowed me to be more vulnerable and available. Thank you.
Love that. Love that. Well, let's go on to the E.
All right. Let's see Laverne with the hot questions here. Let's see. See what we have. So the next artist we have up, this is work from, wow, this looks familiar. The next artist is Mary Harris. And can we unmute Mary? We'll be tackling experiences. I actually really love this piece. We're not going to stay on this only, but part of the reason too is because of the name. This is a portrait that she made during COVID. So this is a COVID special.
First day of the pandemic.
Right. So she just came by, and this is what came out of her taking a picture of me under a nice light. And I think it's actually really beautiful. And the name of the picture is Light of the World, or what is it? Light of the World. Yeah. So the name of this is Light of the World, and it's very inspiring when I see it. And then to recognize that it's me, it's just amazing. So I'm not going to stay on this too much because I could stay on this one all day. I really like this one as well. This was another piece I wanted Mary to add in. But before I go into this, look at me, I'm forgetting my introductions. So we have here talented Mary Harris, and she's a songwriter, she's a musician. She's also an entrepreneur. You see what the Light of the World did? It made me almost forget to do this part here. So Mary and I, we've been friends for now around 4 years. And I believe she continues to just win the hearts of everyone she meets. She's always inspired me when it comes to having a business mindset. She's always thinking about how people can get together and build bigger buildings versus separate buildings. So that mindset alone, I guess, kept our friendship really strong. She's a force in LA by herself, but imagine when she collaborates with other people, it's really great. So I'm just honored. She has an event every year. She's opened her art studio. And I'm just thankful for you to be here. And we just want to get a little bit deeper. We can't get that deep because we don't have enough time, but we're just going to tap into your work a little bit so people can see your true skills here. Because this one was really good for me. And I think out of all of them, which are mostly portraits, we talked through what the theme was going to be. And I think I was kind of pushing for this one a little bit more.
Okay, sure.
So as I move forward, this one is also called Native of American. So it made me think of what I could ask you about your experiences. And what I would like to ask you is, what childhood experience do you remember that aligns with you today?
I remember being like 5 years old and going to the Ben Franklin Institute, actually here in Philadelphia, where I am now, and really watching my mother have these exhibitions, and I would help her. You know, in my head, I'm helping her put the art up, but I may have been holding, you know, little staples, whatever. But it was just a very impactful moment because art spoke to me as a child. And the first piece that spoke to me and I had a full experience with was two children hugging, and it was a portrait work done of these two kids. And it took me. And just to answer a few questions, this is it is basically oil on wood. So it is not a mixed medium per se, but you could consider it since it's wood. But even when painting your portrait or any portrait that I'm connected with, I have to have a full experience with the person before I can express what it is, the emotion, you know?
Okay. So yeah, so I noticed that too. You do a lot of portraits, and I really do love your portraits. I'm gonna go to this one as well. Oh, that's back. Let's go forward. So with your portraits, and also you have, going back to the light of the world, I was just thinking about the use of color as well.
Oh, we can go, yeah, let's go back to it, Brent.
Sure, I love it. You know I do.
Visually.
So how have different experiences with your subjects influenced your work?
Well, without the subject, there's not much to paint for me. As you can see, I am mainly a portrait artist, and that is something that I feel most inspired doing. So for me, once I've connected with the soul of a person, it's easier to paint them because I really don't paint everyone. And this painting was coming from my heart over it being a client. So I think all these pieces shown today were things that are in my private collection besides the abstract piece of two. So just color becomes the personality, like the person expresses to me, and then I choose the coloring that matches. I felt that red matched this piece the most because it's also shining like the sacrifice, you know, that Jesus made. And this was based upon, like, you know, me and you, Brad, we talk, we pray a lot, and that's like the premise of our relationship. Even people you've introduced me to, we've also had a spiritual foundation. So I felt as though like red is always symbolic of being covered in, you know, the sacrifice of Christ.
Wow.
And just, you know, thinking of this photo as like a wise man. Like for me, you've been someone who stood as a pillar. So that's why you're kind of seeing some greens in there, which are more earthy on the face, and blue, which represents the world and the from a larger perspective. If you're looking from outer space, you get to start to see these other colors, blue, green, and yellow, and of course the brown. So for me, when choosing these colors, it kind of naturally occurs. It occurs because of the connection to the person. And then after I'm done, then I'm able to kind of like do a deep analysis of where they're coming from.
Wow. Wow. You just, okay. I didn't know all of that, and I'm glad I do.
Well, it's just basically like,
Yeah.
we're doing analysis on how we feel about art and why we chose what we chose, you know?
Right. No, absolutely. So when you guys look at these, please check out the color and realize that there is definitely some feeling in it, and that went behind it as far as the connection with the people. And I think that's important about experiences too. Sometimes when we have poor experiences versus really great experiences, we tend to reflect what we hold on to. So in my book, I talk a lot about holding on to those experiences that actually represent those highest moments in your life, remembering those moments and then continuing your journey on from those points, versus those lower moments that, yes, they're good to remember as far as to never be there again, but not to hold on to those moments in the same in the light where it holds you back. So thank you for sharing. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, guys, we are going to head on to the first E in VERGE. And we're going to be talking about experiences a little bit more. This is just a little insert from Brad's book. Again, follow along if you can. If not, just listen to my dyslexic self read these little tiny words on this little itty bitty screen.
You got it.
Okay, so I got this. I've done harder things. Okay, so I is Brad in this text, obviously. All right, so I traveled to Nigeria for the first time at the age of 25. I had so many emotions associated with this trip. Through the years growing up, I had heard many things about the country. So while I had some idea of what to expect, my anticipation for this trip had been building all my life. I was overwhelmed with excitement, nervousness, and curiosity. My family in the US told me what to eat and what not to eat, who to trust, who not to trust, what the ideal curfew would be, and so on. They told me to be especially careful in the capital, Abuja, right?
Perfect.
Abuja.
Yeah, look
Okay.
at you.
As members of Boko Haram and suicidal extremists were active in the region. I had so much to think about, and I wanted to make sure that I took heed to all the suggestions from my family. Once I landed in Nigeria, I was amazed by the beauty that I saw. It was nothing like I imagined, nothing like what my family described. This taught me a great lesson about the stories that we tell ourselves. We can do all the research we like and gather insights from firsthand witnesses, but nothing beats the feeling of experiencing something on our own. I'd listened to all the stories my family shared and intended to implement their safety recommendations, but when I arrived in the country, my own observations quelled my fears. I was able to discern which environments were truly dangerous and which situations I'd be able to handle. When we care about others and try to share from our own experiences, we can unintentionally put our fears on someone else, which is counterproductive to our main concern. When we try to care for someone outside care proper boundaries, we risk twisting what was once a pure feeling into judgment, ridicule, and anger. We are instinctual beings with a desire to learn, to replace our presumptions with knowledge. In Nigeria, I was able to learn so much just by watching my culture in its fullness. Everyone I met handled life very differently than what I was used to in the United States. I witnessed so much patience that I began to feel self-conscious about my occasional irritability. Irritability, yeah. What would frustrate most Americans would make the common Nigerian laugh. As my trip progressed, my anticipation of the beauty all around me continued to grow, but fear was still lingering beneath the surface after all the dangers my family had warned me of. Once I was waiting to get a haircut in Abuja alongside a young boy and his brother. I noticed the people around me were predominantly Muslim. In the words of my family rushed through my mind: be careful, watch out. Those initial feelings of tension and caution returned. I thought of the US media's negative portrayal of Nigerian Muslim extremists. I went back to watching the brothers play with each other, then glanced at their father. Seeing the father's attire, I couldn't help but notice that they were Muslim as well. Even though we were all African, I felt like the minority. After all, I was an American with long hair and a Christian. Even though I never sensed an imminent threat, I was beginning to feel like an outsider. In that moment, the father of these boys did something that shocked me entirely. I watched him cut up an orange for them, and then he offered me some too. This kind of gesture immediately released my mounting tension. Despite all the negativity I absorbed from family anecdotes, media reports, and my own suspicions, I had experienced the truth for myself. I learned that people are wired to care for others. When we focus on the differences in how we are inclined to think, this only shifts us away from what really matters. Breaking bread is the universal language. When someone shares bread with you, the gesture breaks down any walls that may try to imprison our minds. If I was self-righteous and focused on my fear, I could have insulted this man and created a false narrative. I may have thought to myself, yeah, this Muslim man and his ill-mannered kids tried to offer me one of his poisoned oranges. Yes, this line may be hyperbolic, yet we create narratives all the time that justify our beliefs in the face of contradictory experiences. We are better off being students when it comes to understanding the many cultures we are surrounded by. I encourage you to chat with your friends and relatives from other countries and explore the greatness in how their perspectives, values, customs, or tendencies may differ from yours. If we learn to be honest about our experiences, then we will see how beauty and peace still rule the essence of the people in this world. I love that story, Brad. I was right there with you. Yeah, I love it. Okay, that was personally one of my favorite sections. Okay, so you I guess like when you talk about you know, it sounds almost as though you're saying curiosity is almost like an antidote to creating like openness, your openness to experience the richness of the different cultures and people of the world.
Right.
I'm curveballing this question a little bit to you. So my question for this section, now that I read this again, is when you had that moment where you were looking at that father with the orange and his two sons playing, what was, if you can pinpoint, what was like the one moment that you decided like, oh, I have all these narratives running through my head, but I'm going to consciously choose to basically throw them in the trash and accept this orange? Did something happen in that moment, or like what trained you with the ability to do that? Because let's just face it, there are so many people who live their entire lives who would just watch and judge that man with the orange, not take and turn the other cheek or turn the other way. So what would you accredit your decision to accept the orange and ultimately not judge this family?
So I think it had to go, that's tough. But I think it had to go into really understanding just people in general. And I think we have a narrative that people are going to hurt us. And that comes from the lack of being vulnerable. So in that moment, I actually could witness and see people around me and see what's happening. And these kids were playing, having a great time. And this man was, their father. He was minding his business. He didn't have to offer me anything. So for someone to extend, that's a whole nother level of vulnerability. And for him to do that, just like as in something he would do naturally, there is no way that I could look at this man and say, okay, he's trying to harm me. And I think we confuse ourselves by what we see around us rather than going from what we feel, what we know about humanity, and what our nature is. And our nature is to grow, is to build. That's what we do for the most part. And that really helped me recognize that, somebody sharing food, breaking bread, knowing my family, sharing food is very important. Growing up as a kid, they didn't share nothing with me. Not just kidding. It was a lot of us. There was 7 of us, so it was hard. So we were fighting, but at the same time, my mother making food for all of us. That was the place we came together. You know what I mean? Like anywhere I would go, why do they have food? Because that's where everyone comes together. And I had to remember that and say, wow, for someone to share food, especially with the narrative that, oh, they don't have food out here, it's limited, but to easily just share something, it was just big to me. And it showed that all of these things that I was creating in my mind were actually imaginary. You're muted. I can't hear you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So I was just expressing that I'm really excited about the next section, R, because it stands for relationships. So I'm going to pass you back the baton because I want to get into that one.
All right. Thank you. Next, we have Karen Bystedt. I think I see her there. Okay, I see her being responsible with her mask.
I'm taking it off because I'm in the car. I was going to go up to the gallery, but I think it's noisy there. So,
Well, thank you for being here. So just to go in a little bit about who Karen is. So Karen, she's a curator, mixed media artist, and a photographer. She's well known for her photography of Andy Warhol and others. She's basically what we would call the GOAT of what she does with collaborations. She does amazing work. And I met Karen when she was displaying her Lost Warhol in a co-working studio space that I actually had my brand in. And she had this little dog, a little snow Buddha dog, and it was an awesome dog. But I think what stood out to me the most was the crowd that she brought. So her crowd was very diverse. She was very, very personable to the host. And, you know, sometimes you can think that, you know, people that have big names, and Karen, she does have a great name in LA, she's known. I didn't know this at the time, but I just watched how she moved, and she was very personable and respectful. Those were the first things I noticed about her. She didn't take that space as, this is mine, I'm gonna speak to you anyhow. She was very respectful. And then I seen the crowd, I seen who she brought in, and it was a very diverse crowd, and everybody was very, very positive, warm, and it goes to show what we bring, the relationships we bring out, they extend. And just the extension of who her people were, it made me want to capture her. And I ended up using my camera and capturing a little footage before it died. But at the end of the day, I was like, no, I just want her to have this just so she can see this moment, see her work, and know that I appreciate it. I didn't ask for anything. I just was like, here. And it wasn't the greatest, but it was something that I took time to do because I appreciated just her ability to bring that diverse of people together in LA, and it still was very, very fruitful. It wasn't that fake LA stuff. You know, sometimes you can have the fake LA, but this was actually people that really cared to be there and cared about her. So that was a little long, but Karen, I'm just glad that you're here. I'm glad you picked up my call when I asked you to be a part of this. And yeah, I'm gonna go through your work a little bit, and then I'll have a few questions, but I'm just gonna show them a few of your pieces. This is the inclusion series here. So you have some amazing collaborations. Karen, have you ever been challenged with building relationships? So have you ever had a challenge? And I think we talked a little bit about a challenge once. And if you can talk about that, sure. But
absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
So, you know, through art, I've collaborated with so many different types of people. You know, people who are millionaires, people from the hood, people from different ethnicities. And I, you know, found that was such a beautiful thing. And I'm, you know, someone who's a world baby, and I see the beauty in people, and I respect where they come from. I respect, you know, whatever religion they have, because I don't feel that, you know, I feel like we can all respect and love each other, even if we practice different religions and, you know, have different ideas about life. But I did do a collaboration with Chris Brown, and I've gotten a lot of love from the Black community. And they've always called me Queen. And, you know, I ended up doing a Queen series.
Okay, Queen.
So, but I, you know, I also dated a couple Black men, and I dated this one beautiful man who was half Black, but his mother was white. And he one time, you know, accused me of white privilege. And you and I talked about that, because I remember at the time I was really taken aback and almost offended. And, you know, now I understand what white privilege is. And, you know, it's taken me, even with all my amazingly beautiful friends, you know what I mean? After a while, I started asking questions. You know, white privilege really is the fact that I don't get insulted or attacked because of the color of my skin, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a lot more sensitive to that. And unfortunately, that happens quite a bit in America. And so I've really been a proponent now to educate people and to take a stand against that. I am all about inclusion, and I do believe that you know, we are all human, and the human experience connects us. And so this particular project, I did an art series, but I also created a wall in the arts district where I photographed 25 individuals of different ethnicities, ages, sexes, sexual orientations, and I wheat pasted them all on this gate, and then I painted crowns and equal signs. And so that's really what this was part
Awesome.
of that series.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I know that that takes a bit of vulnerability, but it also touches on the importance of relationships and how having certain relationships, you are able to eventually realize that this is something that, you know, maybe I can go back and evaluate on my own, and realize that this world that I have around me isn't actually what it is around. So I do appreciate you sharing that. It means a lot. It's also a form of vulnerability, and I feel like a lot of white people are challenged by sharing that and being vulnerable. And that's one thing I also want to share, is that it's important. It's actually really good to be vulnerable, and it's not meant to condemn people. So just admitting or being clear on what's happening isn't meant to condemn. Um, it's just meant to create a conviction within a person to say, okay, there needs to be a change. Those convictions are really important. And I do appreciate your vulnerability and you just picking up my call. Like, I want you guys to understand, like, I just reached out to her and she actually remembered some things that I didn't think she would remember, because she meets people like every day. So I'm very appreciative of how sharp you are and how attentive you are to people.
Well, you know, you are a light in the world,
Thank you.
Brad, and you know that's why I agreed to join you and support you here. And anyone who is out there trying to, you know, spread love and you know, inspire and teach people, I'm going to support. And you know, I think you're an awesome human being, and you know,
Thank
that's
you.
why I'm here.
Thank you. I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. She actually has an exhibit. It's called Heirs of the Throne, I believe.
Yes, I'm really excited. It's called Heirs to the Throne at the Beverly Center. Please come see us. I curated Black artists, Black contemporary artists, shining light on these amazing Black artists who I've been following and who followed me. And it's at the Beverly Center on the 6th floor. And it's an incredible exhibit, and I'm, you know, very proud of it. So I know COVID is out there and it's scary, but please do come visit us and show us some love and enjoy the art.
Yes. And if you go, just say you were at the Intentional Five Verbs and she'll give you 80% off. Not just kidding. Just kidding. That was a joke. But yeah, please do
Yeah,
go enjoy it. It'll be a great time. Um,
you're
thank you for
right.
your
I have the
time.
Lost Warhols as well. I have an amazing store with art and clothing, and please come check it out. Yes.
Nice.
And we will give you love. We will give you love.
Appreciate
I
you.
have
Thank you
that
for
as
your
a
time.
button. I have little Andy dressed as
Buttons?
Biggie, as a button, as a little pin.
So this is
Um,
little Andy dressed as Biggie. She has a little Andy's, little Andy World series. And that's soon to really be out there. So we're showcasing this as well, which is awesome. I think it's creative. There was a question I had that had to do with this, but it had to do a little bit more about your earlier upbringing. So what is one of your like first memories of a strong relationship that you have built early on in your career? Because you've done a lot of other photography that, like I seen one I forget who it was. I don't think it was Brad Pitt, but it was somebody when they were really young.
Yeah, I photographed a lot of actors before they were famous.
Right.
I even
Right.
did Cuba Gooding's headshots, believe it or not.
Wow.
But yes, I photographed Jared Leto before he was famous, and Brad Pitt, Johnny Depp. So we were all in our youth, and then I traveled a lot and got married, and then I remembered that I'd photographed Andy Warhol, and I just felt compelled to go look for my negatives. So I did that and found 10 out of 36, and conceptualized making Warhol into the art.
Beautiful.
So, but then now I've conceptualized this little Andy world. So Andy Warhol, I feel like Jean-Michel Basquiat, who's, the most famous Black artist who ever lived, and both he and Warhol collaborated on 200 pieces back in the 80s. But I feel like if they lived in the now, they would be hanging with all the cool kids. And but I also feel that they were very inclusive themselves, which artists are. All of us artists tend to be very inclusive. And so I've conceptualized this little Andy who's just very naive and wanting to learn. And I'm planning on creating this whole little Andy world with lots of characters. But this particular series is Andy really getting into hip hop and dressing up like all of his heroes, like Biggie and Snoop and DMC. So that's what this is.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. I'm glad you're here, and we're gonna move forward here. But thank you so much. Please stick with us if you can. I know that you got your show going now.
Yeah, it was great to be here, a part of this, and everyone is so amazing. Thank you for letting me be a part of this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, guys, let's get into relationships. Gonna dive right in. All right, so Brad writes, popular culture has elevated a number of famous partnerships over the years. Mr. Miyagi and Daniel, Dory and Merlin.
Don't worry about all those names.
Harry and Harmon, Batman and Robin, Mr. Spock and Captain Kirk, Oprah and Gail, Obama and Biden, Pinky and the Brain, Klay Thompson and Stephen Curry, Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed, Robert Smith and Brian Seth, Will and Jada Pinkett Smith, David and Victoria Beckham, Rocky and Bullwinkle, Woody and Buzz Lightyear, Larry Page and Sergey Brin, Lilo and Stitch, Keenan and Kel, Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen, Nipsey Hussle and Lauren London, Megan Good and Devon Franklin. What made these dynamic duos so great together? How did they get through disagreements? Were they exactly the same in their practices? How did they treat each other? What allowed these relationships to last? One thing that these partners all have in common is that they communicated who they were to each other. When you communicate who you are giving someone a piece of you. Whenever you decide to include others into our lives, we form stronger bonds. I highlighted duos from a wide range of contexts because communication can look different depending on who you are paired with and the type of work you do. This work, of course, must be rooted in authenticity. Authenticity will mitigate any problem, while inauthenticity may merely cover up problems until they eventually resurface. We can begin this journey of positive relationships by engaging in light conversations. This can be as simple as asking someone how their day is going or how they are feeling, provided you really want to hear their response. Or perhaps you might suggest getting a cup of coffee with someone you shared an Uber with. Try doing this all week. You will begin to notice how those light conversations enhance deeper and richer relationships. By building positive relationships today, you'll minimize unnecessary pain and isolation down the road. In relationships, it is important to have a common goal. Common goals come from a place of trust. Although you and your team may have some different ideas about how to achieve safety in the classroom, academic success, or respectful student attitudes, you should be confident that you share the same priorities. Common goals increase your chance of fostering a workable relationship. Begin by establishing a single agreed upon agenda. Make sure that everyone is on the same page. With such a foundational element, you can't afford to rely on assumption. When building a relationship, Batman and Robin established a common goal: keeping Gotham City safe, and doing so without lethal force. This was their agenda. If Robin ever decided that he no longer cared about preserving the lives of the villains, this would represent a betrayal of the terms of his partnership with Batman. When a common goal is abandoned, the relationship itself is put into jeopardy. Whether a fatal disagreement develops or the common goal is deemed negotiable by the rest of the group, thus undermining the overall integrity of the group's founding principles. In this hypothetical, if Batman allowed Robin to kill, then Robin would have no reason to trust Batman's word or stated values in the future. So Batman's goal here would be to remind Robin of the purpose behind their stated values, aiming to bring his friend back into alignment with the mission. Let's say that Robin was upset by the death of a victim, and this was what derailed him from focusing on the common goal. Checking in to understand Robin's struggles would be in Batman's best interest as he sought to reignite that flame that had been blown out. We need each other the most when our emotions and feelings interfere with the great work that we set out to do. Likewise, we need to be ready to support our students when they're in distress. We must honor our common goals and revisit them when our students lose steam. What are some common goals you share with your students? What are some common goals that you share with your colleagues? It is beneficial to know what is important to you and your students. This way, when either you lose sight, there is always a point of reference that you can come back to and refocus on. We need to be ready to explain and defend the reasons behind our purposes. I learned early on that teaching obtains its value from the motivation behind our work, not the work itself. Information builds credibility. If we can help our students understand why things are being done in these specific ways, we will earn, very important, we will earn their trust. Batman and Robin trusted each other, not for the cool costumes that they wore or for the fancy gadgets that they had, but because they knew each other well enough to know what they stood for. Batman never tried to humiliate Robin or teach him like he was an incompetent, despite Batman having the lead role. Batman believed Robin was great, which in turn inspired Robin to perform at greater levels. Batman learned quite a bit from Robin as well. What they accomplished together is far greater than what Batman could have done on his own. When building relationships, you must realize that no one has all the answers. Once you understand this, you realize that the teacher can be the student and vice versa. When we approach a problem collectively, we get closer to the answers and simultaneously enjoy personal growth. Having great relationships is the best way to promote a happier and more joyful environment. This can be a great contributor to wellness for you. Getting kids to care is the foundation of learning. If your students refuse to receive your wisdom, it might indicate that you are stuck in your own bubble of understanding. Take time to reflect on your patterns of thought and remove any ideas blocking you from finding more creative solutions. We come to the table knowing what we want. When our agenda gets disrupted, we often look around before, it got small, hold on. We often look around before we take the time to reflect on our own patterns of thought and remove any ideas blocking you from finding more creative solutions. We come to the table knowing what we want. When our agenda gets disrupted, we
Oh,
all...
same thing. That's an error. I'll fix that later, though.
That's okay. I don't think it's an error. I think it needs to be said again. So I'm going to say it again. All
There
right?
we go.
Listen up, folks. I don't believe in coincidences. We come to the table knowing what we want. When our agenda gets disrupted, we often look around before we look within ourselves. Say it twice. Instead, we should make honest assessments and let go of things that are not working. We must become brave enough to work on ourselves in order to progress beyond our former ways of thinking. Letting go of unexamined, sabotaging ideologies is one of the hardest things to do. But people who do break free from these ideologies enjoy an enlightened perspective. They are no longer bound by thoughtless patterns of behavior. That is very good. Okay. By default, we operate by habit. When we intentionally examine our ideologies and accept to meet our challenges in a new way, enlightenment is possible, or we may second guess ourselves and retreat to what is familiar. Entrepreneur Brian Evans warns us that our brain can work against our effort to grow. He quotes, "When the brain detects that something is happening outside the normal range, this triggers the brain's error detection mechanism. Our mind is set up to restrict us from venturing past known areas." That's so good. Our mind is set up to restrict us from venturing past known areas. When a trespass does occur, our mind does not necessarily compute the behavior as a failure, but rather different or irregular. This is why we must rule our minds and not passively accept what seems right or comfortable. This is why we must rule our minds and not passively accept what seems right or comfortable. The real work lies in the steadfast conditioning of the mind, which brings the change we seek to fruition. Bam. I like
Awesome.
it. Okay, that was a lot, guys, but I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. The power of relationships. Brad, I'm going to hit you with a couple questions. All right. So in your example of Batman and Robin, you talked about the importance of vision, values, and trust. Which one of these, when we're talking about vision, value, and trust, comes the least natural to you?
Wow. Yeah. I honestly would have to say trust. Trust possibly because, I grew up in a single parent household, so, I've never really had a man around versus my brothers to teach me. Whoa, someone's getting okay. So I haven't really had much male figures around. The only male figures I had around were distrustful. They were people from my neighborhoods that ended up not holding up their end of the bargain when we agreed to stuff. And not to say those were the best situations, but that was my only idea of trust. So I think that is the most challenging, and that is why I push to do it the most, because me trusting represents authenticity. You know what I mean? So when I'm able to trust, or when I'm able to show people that I'm trustworthy and to do things that are full of trust, it shows some authenticity. This red is throwing me off, whoever's going sick with the marker right now.
This is good. This is an artistic experience. We have red going across the screen.
Right.
Jesse is getting lit in the background. Jesse, mute yourself. Anyway, Brad, you want to quickly wrap up that thought? I love your answer.
Yeah, no, so I think trust was, out of those three, would be the most challenging. But I also believe that trust builds authenticity. The more you're able to trust people and the more you're able to be trustworthy, people will start to see you as somebody that's being authentic. And then they can trust you. So it no longer becomes, can I trust these people, but holding up my end of the bargain. So if people fall short, at least they see an example of what that trust looks like for future endeavors.
I dig it. I love that. I love the R, but you know what? I like the G even more. Let's go to the G. We got to go to the G because I like the G too.
Before we go to the G, we're going to take a break. I know you guys have been here. I'm going to have my assistant Adina step in. She's awesome. She's been helping me create this from the beginning. And we want to actually field some questions. So we would like for you guys to get active so you can actually write questions you have, or just raise your hand. And I'll let Adina step in now, actually.
Yeah, I think that Kisom, you had a question for Mary, if I remember correctly. You can maybe unmute yourself. You still have the same question?
Let me see if you remember what my question was.
I think you had a question regarding the painting, the name of one of the paintings.
Yeah, the one Leviathan. I thought that was pretty interesting, and I would just love to like hear the history behind or the thought process behind the Leviathan painting.
Sure. So I selected that name because it is a Jewish name, and it also was dealing with the ocean. So basically that painting was, this guy's actually a descendant of Moses. I know that's kind of crazy, but he's a Jewish business partner of mine. But it was cool because I got to paint him, and I felt like that name fit his actual being instead of the name that was, you know, changed over time. Of course, a lot of American Jews have tried to conform to Europe, most European, so they cut their name and change it. So I just felt like it was the purest name for the person. And if you want to just kind of look it up, I feel like it's also strong. That's why he's in this triangle. And so that's where it came from. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Adina would just fill them. If you raise your hand, she'll call you out if you have any questions thus far.
Yeah. If not, you can think about it and write them in the chat, and then later we will have maybe a few more minutes for questions.
Sounds good.
I have a question. Sorry, my camera is not on right now, but my name is Onye.
Yeah.
This question is actually for Marissa. Marissa, I love your work. Love the painting with the banana hands. Tell me a little bit about that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's actually a recreation of a photograph that I'd seen by an artist that, like, he's a creative director and he's based out of Ghana. And I just love his stuff. Like, he really does celebrate his culture and his background. Every time I see that photo, I don't know, there's just a sense of, like, right now as well, like, I think we all kind of crave connection. And I just saw that piece, and especially during that time of being in lockdown, I was just like, I just really want to recreate this piece. So it almost feels like the sun that you see in the background and then the banana chilling on his shoulder is kind of like, almost that radiance is like creating that connection between the two of them. So yeah, I really love that piece as well. So yeah, that was the meaning behind it.
Thank you. And then I have another question. I think Gina asked the same question. How long did it take you to write this book?
So the book took me roughly 2 years plus. And so it took a lot of time with research, but also being amongst people and just being able to listen. So I think a lot of what I spent my time doing helped to create this book, as far as taking the time to really, you know, be attentive to what people were telling me and not just writing it off, but just still being open to hearing things. So 2+ years, y'all. You could do it though.
Also, I like what you shared with me. Sorry. I like what you shared with me before, that when you first tried to write the book, you weren't true to yourself in terms of how you were writing it, because you were trying to write it for, I guess, people. And then you said you scratched that. Right. And then wrote it again from your heart. And it was like, I mean, the book is amazing for those who haven't read it yet, but just want to share that.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think authenticity is really important, and being vulnerable, because I wanted to write a book that was for teachers, but I realized that I needed them to understand the foundation of what I've done and where my mindset is set on. So, you know, I wanted to write a book that didn't have anything that was touching on my faith as Christianity. But then again, when I tried to do that, I couldn't finish the book. So I truly wasn't being who I wanted to be. But even at that time, I didn't realize that that was the issue. I just took it as, well, I just need to take a little bit more breaks. But once I realized, I said, you know what, I can't write this book because of a friend that ended up sharing something with me that just changed the whole outlook of the book. And I was like, you know what, you're right. I have to write my experience in it. And my experience includes my spirituality and basically how I view people, you know what I'm saying? How I view people and believe that people can achieve. We all were gifted. We all were created with gifts. So because of that, it made me actually write the book a lot faster, and it became more fluid. It became more natural to me. So thank you.
I have a question, sorry. Just wanted to hear from Jesse. He had that beautiful piece in the beginning. Just wanted to hear how he created that, how he composed it, or just anything from there.
Yeah. That was actually written here in Oakland pretty recently. It has lyrics to it, but I just did an instrumental of it and then soloed over it, which is fun because I like the time signature and I like the chord progression, and it kind of brings out a bunch of creativity in the way that I play because it's not like a rut, you know, so the chord progression brings things out of me that are riskier, which is fun.
We'll hear more from Jesse in a few minutes too, so stay tuned. That's going to be exciting. So I'd like to pass on. Are there any more questions, Adina? I'm sorry, I can't see.
No, there are no more questions.
Okay, so I'll pass it on to Laverne just to talk a little bit more about donations and the raffle. We're going to be raffling off a few things, so if you stayed here for this long, you have a chance to potentially win some pretty cool things.
Okay, guys, so I love free stuff, especially during a pandemic. I don't know what it is. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about the sponsors first and foremost. So DJ Duffy is an author, and he sponsored a bottle of Zen Clee wine. Okay, you know it's a season. Merlena Hines. That's just kind of how I want to say it. Pinky Rose Boutique, a shopping gift certificate. Okay, sounds provocative. I like that. Beauty gift set by Rich Girl Productions, Rich Girl Network. I'm trying to be rich, especially right now. And then Sandy Perez, Makeup by Sandy, a complimentary makeup session. If the winner is not local, then it would be a gift card for makeup. So either way, you're coming up. Okay, so those are the sponsors. Thank you so much for contributing and helping to elevate the experience for everybody. We have a winner. Are you guys going to announce that right now, or did you want to wait? Sure. Okay, let's do it. I want to know.
I'm going to pull a name from this hat. Let's see. Okafor Joy. I hope I pronounced the name correctly.
That's actually my mom, y'all. Where's
Really?
she at?
What?
Yeah.
Wow, wow.
Where you at, Mom? Can you show your face?
I'm sorry, I couldn't. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you. We'd like to see you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm excited.
So what did she win?
Never won anything before.
Look at that. With all those scratch-offs, right?
I don't believe in coincidences at all. So,
no.
Brad, is there a winner for each thing, or does your mama just get the whole pot?
Oh, yeah, for each thing.
I'm cool with your mom winning everything. But okay, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to the next winner.
Yeah. Okay, the next winner is Ciara Walker.
Okay, Sierra, are you in here?
I will also ask you to write me your details in private so that we can talk later about how you can receive your prize.
Awesome. We got three more winners. Who's the third?
Did Sierra confirm?
No, but I think she's in the chat.
Okay.
1 second.
If not, you just pass in my way. We'll get it taken care of.
Okay. Okay. The next one is Paula Thompson.
Thank you. Now,
Paula Thompson.
Junior, you don't think that you are forgotten because, sure, remember.
Adina, you might have to mute that.
That sounds like a spirit.
Okay. So
I
Paula
feel
is
blood. That sounds like my ancestors. All right.
It's
Let's go to the next one.
Urlas.
Say it again.
Mika Urlas. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it.
You won, Michael.
Yes.
I was dying laughing a second ago, so thank you.
Oh, Micah.
What's up, man?
Micah, you won.
Oh, Mega. But I win.
Remember to write me your details in a private message.
I want the wine.
I was thinking more of the makeup session for you, but fine. Okay, we might give you the wine. Okay. All right, we have one more, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Do it.
What happened to everything happens on purpose? All that. Y'all not gonna give that speech this time around?
No.
Nah, we're over it.
All right.
So the next one is Ugoma Okorie.
Ugoma Akori. Are you there?
Let's check.
Are you there?
She's here.
She is?
Yeah, she's muted.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, I do see her.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's for you.
That's my friend. I'll accept it on her behalf.
All right, just inform her.
Great.
I will. I've just messaged
Please
her now.
write me in the message. Write me your email address or something so we can get in contact with you.
Okay, guys.
Sorry, Laverne, before we go, I just want to showcase a few things that we'll be giving out again. So I will be giving out 2 books.
Oh.
So stay tuned for that. At the very end, you could have a chance to win one. The holidays are here. So you could give it as a gift if you already own a copy, or you can do something else. We also have a few items that we're going to give away at the end from a few of the artists. So we have Eric and Letticia. They're both going to give out some of their artwork. And we'll talk a little bit more about that at the end.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Brad. Yeah, as he mentioned, his book is out. If you guys need something for the holiday season, we're going to invite you into that later, but just keep that in mind. Nothing better than to give the gift of knowledge, especially if it's supporting a friend. So add his book to your Amazon wish list or wherever you guys can buy it. But congratulations to all the winners. We're going to take a quick intermission. If you need to go to the restroom, pour yourself a glass of wine, take a shot, whatever it needs to do, you need to do it within the next 5 minutes, maybe less. And Jesse, our boy who played our very young man stallion is
Yes, so Jesse will play. As he plays, Adina, can you pin Jesse's image so they can see him? So you guys take a minute. We'll be back in about 5 minutes. You can jam out with Jesse or take a minute away.
Like an open mic jam out? No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey. Was that 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Wow.
5 minutes goes by fast.
Great job. Let's see. Is my friend Laverne back? I changed the way my screen setup is, so I can't really see. So if not, and you guys feel free to show us your beautiful faces, man. I mean, we're like the vulnerable ones here, guys. Remember, Verge, vulnerability, the first one. I see you, Greg. Greg, you were here earlier. I don't know why you cut out on us. I see my brother, Chauncey, Addie. Come on, let's see your guys' faces. For anyone that shows their faces, raises their hands, we have other free gifts for that as well. There we go. Okay, I see Leslie and Jonathan. All right, Nadia.
I have a question.
This is what I'm talking about, man. See, shining. Someone has a question? Sorry, go ahead.
So actually my collector now, Kona, he's on here, and I was just wondering, how can they see the gallery after, because I did show a piece that he had ordered. So how did they see the gallery if they haven't seen it?
Amazing question. So before we get into what Jesse's going to play, I just want to start off and say, this gallery that you guys are seeing, it's going to be available to every one of you guys. You can go in and view it on your own. It has the web link so you can purchase the artists. Just so you know, anything you purchase, there's going to be a percentage that's going to New Haven Art Space or Art Space New Haven. That's the nonprofit organization I decided to partner with because of their apprenticeship program for teens and teaching them about the arts. So anything that you do purchase, there's going to be a great contribution that's going to be going back to youth and them getting connected with their creative juices and possibly making a career out of it. So consider doing that. Back to what Mary was saying, this is going to be presented to all you guys, but also for the artists, you're going to have access to this as well. And one of my goals is that for however long I pay for this is also why you guys should donate, because I'm paying for everything, guys. But however long I have this for, the artists are going to be able to have it too. So you're only getting a small glimpse of what they're presenting about their work. So they may have personal things, and I encourage them to have virtual showcases where they use this presentation and show their work. This is going to be open to them at least till May of 2021. So it's going to be an opportunity for you guys to learn more about their work. You can actually do that by going there after you get this. But yeah, so it will be available to you, Mary.
And what time will it be available? Like after the show?
After the show, there'll be an email that Adina will send out. It's kind of late right now, so she may do it in the morning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
But you
Denmark.
can receive the email only if you RSVP'd. If not, feel free to send me your email in a private message, and then I will add you there.
Cool. Thank you. Laverne, do you want to introduce him, or do you want me to go ahead? Well, he's already been introduced, right, Jesse? So, Jesse, please take it away. He'll be performing his song called John. So you guys just heard him play. He's pretty awesome. Okay, I see you there, Regan. I see your head there. All right. But I think it's really dope now that you can hear him actually use his vocals too. So this is a great collaboration.
Cool.
Jazzy?
Thank you.
Yeah, I see. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. My bad. Let me mute myself.
I wrote this song about my subconscious, kind of the process of growing and figuring out how to let go of some parts of yourself or like make friends with some parts of yourself. And so I named this part of myself John. Tell John that I packed my things and I left his town. Tell John that I left him clear instructions how to fall up and sit back down again, and leave more open minds and open ends. Tell John that I might not like the things he says. Tell John that I think that he's a bit too mesmerized by the sounds of life as they tick on. And I have to make some noise before I'm gone. Tell John that I think he's fine all on his own. Tell John not to fear that I'm all alone, 'cause I'm safe and warm by someone else's heart. And I'll always love him though we drift apart.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So we're gonna jump back in. Let's see. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So we're gonna jump into gratitude. And gratitude, we will be having the artist who's a photographer and a bit more. Let me just open up my, my little section here. So we have Letticia Bissondut, and her series, this is her series, it's called Light of the World. And it's from the country, is it Malawi?
Malawi, yeah.
Yep, Malawi. So a little bit about Letticia. She is a South African humanitarian, actor, and photographer that I just love. We got to know each other in a very random way, from meeting through a mutual friend and then sharing the same camera brand, Nikon, to attending the same church. Then by realizing that we had another set of mutual friends, Man, we just had some true life LA conversations just about being creatives, artists out here, and to text messages of motivational videos. So I appreciate her just for being a good friend in a short time, and also for her amazing work that she captures. So I'm honored to have you here. She's like also an Instagram sensation, so I'm just honored. You knew I was going to say that. But I'm just honored to have her here to present her work and to be a part of VERGE and represent gratitude. So this is her work here. I'm just going to go through it. These are photos that she has taken in Malawi. So as I'm going through this, I guess I want to get started with one of the questions I have for you. When you view your work, what things are you reminded of that are associated with gratitude?
You know, honestly, with this particular body of work, I got to go back to Africa. I got to work with a nonprofit. I got to shoot my people. And I think the thing that reminds me most of gratitude is how they operate in life. They don't need much. Everything is about being grateful for what they have, whatever it is. And I think to maybe the Western world and to other people from the outside, it looks like they have so little, but you know, these are kids who will find plastic bags and collect them and create balls and toys out of them. So very minute details of gratitude within the very simple aspects of life in Africa.
I think that's brilliant. And that's similar to my experience going to Nigeria, is realizing that you don't need much to be grateful and to be thankful. And just being afforded the things that we have here in America, sometimes we lose sight of that. But thank you for sharing that. And I also wanted to ask, who has influenced your work, and what makes you grateful for that person?
You know, honestly, this is going to be a cheesy answer, but my parents, I absolutely adore them. They're so incredible. And when I grew up in South Africa, when I was a little girl, we still lived under the apartheid regime. And my mom and my dad were in their mid-30s at the time when Nelson Mandela was released from prison, and things started to shift. And we started moving out of segregation. And the way in which they move through life with so much gratitude, even though their experiences have been so intensely severe sometimes, taught my sister and I, and you know, in turn, my sister's kids, their grandkids, my nephews, how to consistently be thankful and how to consistently show gratitude. Like my mom will straight up call me every day and be like, did you write in your gratitude journal today? And that's something that's been instilled in my family since we were little, is, you know, every day you come up with at least 3 to 5 things that you were grateful for, and it shifts the posture of your heart and how you look at things. So yeah, mom and dad, those are my
Awesome.
people right now.
Awesome. And I think that's a great takeaway as well, a gratitude journal. In my book, I talk about having 3 things that you're grateful for and moving forward on those. But a gratitude journal that's it. You know, like just the idea of knowing that you're going to wake up with something to be grateful for is beautiful. So thank you for sharing. As we move forward, I'm just going to go back again to get you guys. I know, like I said, you guys are going to have an opportunity to view these on your own, also to purchase them. I just want to say that Letticia is going to sponsor a few of her prints, and these are very pricey prints, guys. So I want you to understand that. So I'll let her tap in and just share kind of which prints she's going to share. And then we'll raffle those off at the end as well. We'll just say Letticia's prints.
Do you want me to talk about them now?
Sure.
Okay. Do you want to go back?
Sure.
So what I'm going to do is I have each of these, I guess they're 1 of 50 that's actually printed. So limited edition. They're all fine art prints on fine art paper, 8x10s. This particular series I shot when I was with a nonprofit in Malawi, and a lot of these kids are kids from villages You know, we touch on very different topics here, from extreme poverty to child labor, many different things that these and these beautiful children have to go through. This particular series for me was showing the strength and the joy of Africa, in spite of the things that they have to go through. So there'll be one of each 5 prints available for your raffle, Brad.
Thank you. I think that's more than we discussed. See, gratitude, generosity. I know, I do appreciate that. So you guys are going to get one of these 5 prints, and that's pretty awesome. So I appreciate your generosity and being able to do that. I understand that everything has a cost in this world, so I appreciate you for doing that for us. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, guys, let's get into the G. This is a really important section. I'm gonna do my best, Brad. These are a lot of little words. Okay, here we go. Love and fear have much in common. They operate similarly within us, seeking to direct our actions. But while love is a healthy and natural force, fear is a parasite. If it can attach itself to the inner parts of its host, it will take control of the host and eventually destroy it. Maybe I've watched too many alien movies, but go ahead and imagine fear as a terrible creature seeking to establish a colony. Fear's goal is to desensitize us to true love to such an extent that we forget that love is the stuff that made us. Unfortunately, a person forgetting his or her true identity is more common than we'd like to imagine. Love is meant to be shared, yet many people would rather not, and this is because fear has taken root. When fear is directing our actions, we will be focusing on self-preservation. We retract into ourselves. But love was created in us to expand an idea, an interdependent idea that we are all one. As love reveals itself to us, its power compels us to look beyond our own interests and concerns. Love enables us to judge the character of a person, not to condemn that person, but so we might better understand how to serve them and lead them into abundant growth. Everything in love is formative because love is the superbulous source of all living things. Even within our bodies, our cells are constantly working together to keep us alive and functioning properly. Our purposes are meant to extend beyond our immediate reach. This is why love must be patient, empathetic, joyful, and inclusive. The counterfeit is fear. It is just as tenacious as love while pursuing the opposite agenda. Fear always promotes the self at the expense of everything and everyone else. While love celebrates the genuine nature of all people, fear causes us to hide from others our impurities. We put on masks, pretending to be perfect, terrified that others will find us out. Fear drives us into isolation and extreme independence. It can only operate in us when we fail to realize that we belong to each other in love. We may forget our true purpose and nature when we feel alone, when we feel afraid, or when we believe the lie that somehow we can do it all on our own. Fear will hijack our mind to justify hatred towards the person whom you simply do not understand properly. Instead of admitting our lack of understanding, we put up a steel wall of fear that reinforces our ignorant thoughts, which in turn leads to harmful actions. Fear has a dehumanizing effect, leading to all manner of atrocities. Once we are able to exclude certain individuals from our mandate to we can call social inequalities mass incarceration.
Hello? Can you guys hear me? Yeah?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes.
Okay, I'll just continue on from where she left off. Once we are able to exclude certain individuals from our mandate to love, we can call social inequalities, mass incarceration, even genocide, an act of love in defense of our community. In this way, throughout history, we have seen the people who commit atrocities against a minority group justify their actions as good and proper. Why do people fall for this twisted way of thinking? How does something like this occur? Easy. Let's compare it to the flu. If you lock yourself in a small room with a dozen people who have influenza, then how likely are you to be the 13th person to catch the illness? Many people out of fear prefer to let group thinking take precedence over their independent beliefs. Do you fear being left out? Are you afraid of a certain ethnic, religious, social, or other type of people group? Are you concerned with preserving your bloodline? Do you desire wealth? Do you think you are better than someone else in your family or workplace? Do you constantly compare yourself to others? Who might you be trying to impress? These are all entry points for fear. The only way to inoculate yourself against this illness is to intentionally practice care for all people, especially those who do not look, sound, or act like you. If you believe in the power of love, then this treatment will be successful. Love is holistic, but fear will always try to twist and manipulate what is true. As you exercise perseverance in love, you will learn to recognize fear when it crosses your path and to avoid its diversionary influence. The truth is simple, but it is not easy to resist all the distractions that try to lead you away from your true intentions. Write out this idea below and take it with you as a reminder that will guide you back to the truth. You guys can actually close your eyes if you want and just visualize this, or don't, but this might be a good practice if you just close your eyes and kind of visualize this setting. So imagine you and 7 billion other people are placed in a maze in darkness. Each person has a light that guides them to their purpose. As you cross paths with other people in this maze, you either enhance your light by helping a person find their way, or dim your light by hurting someone on the path. The more you help people, the brighter your light will become, letting you see further and more clearly ahead to your purpose. The more you hurt people, the dimmer your light fades, and the more reliant you become on an inner voice of fear for guidance in the dark. Now, you can barely see your purpose, unsure if it is actually really there. Your hurt feeds your fear, and that fear becomes your truth. In this maze, your words and actions can clarify your goals or birth insecurities. What do you give to the people that cross your path? How bright is your light? The more you give of yourself to others on your journey, the brighter your light becomes. That is the only shortcut to reaching your purpose in this maze. Love creates within you more understanding, opening doors that used to seem like dead ends in the dark. The help you offer to others feeds your light, and that light becomes your truth. But if self-absorption and fear take hold of your actions, you will no longer be able to see things clearly. Your sight will become limited to the degree that you withhold your concern and care from other people. Through the wonder of love, when you focus on the light, an otherwise dark and scary place will transform into a great opportunity. No matter how dim your light is in this moment, your path is waiting for you. Once you choose to live in the truth, you will see the way forward. Find the beauty in supporting other people, and you will find your light. This is when your euphoric journey in truth truly begins. Shine.
Okay, Brad, I'm back.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Darkwing. Okay, so listen, guys, I can't guarantee that's not going to happen again. However, what I do know is Brad has my back. Okay?
Teamwork, you know it.
Yeah, so if that happens again, Brad's going to pick up and I will be back in, and we're going to get through this like we're getting through 2020. Brad, I have a question for you regarding gratitude.
Sure.
So what is like a way that we all can practice care for all people? Now, I will say many may, lend itself to or yield itself to like a very generic answer, but it's actually quite hard sometimes, especially during the economical and like political crisis, if you will, that we are all in, but can you give us one way that you've practiced, maybe even within the last month, love all people?
You know, I think sometimes what I like to do is I like to ask questions and pose questions to friends and family. And one of the questions that I've posed recently to a few friends and to family, and it also allowed me to think about it. And one of the questions I had, and I guess this is a question I'm gonna pose to you guys as well, um, and I would love for some interaction. So if you have a response to this, either yes or no in the comments, but do you feel that you can love everybody the same? So think about that question. Do you feel you can love everyone the same? Because I do. But I would like your responses. So please tap in yes or no, because there's no right or wrong answer. It's just your opinion and how you feel about, you know, what you think you can do. But it's a question I pose because I feel like as humans, that's what we were intended to do, to be able to love people the same. And I think the challenge comes into play because of the things that we were taught to do as far as, let's say I have a son or a daughter, that becomes almost like a possession. And if that's more of a possession to me, then I value that more than this kid over here that I know nothing about, even though at the end of the day, this kid is just like the child that I have. The only difference is this one has come from me specifically. But why can't I love that other kid the same? And I think it's a lot of things that we've taught ourselves, a lot of things that we've learned that make that a bit challenging to even think about that, of can we love people the same? But working with a lot of my students, I realized that, you know, I don't have any kids, but working with my students, I realized that I could love those kids just as much as I love my niece and nephew. And I believe if I had a kid as well, I would love my kid just as much as I love my students. I think the key is realizing that sometimes love just looks different. And loving those kids that are at my school is different than how I'd love my child that I have, like my future kid, God willing. But I think that's the important thing, is to realize that we can love people differently, but still love people the same. And it sounds like a tough concept, but if we're able to recognize that there's value in each person, that we can respect each person, then it gives us a better outlook on how we can love people the same, even though it looks different depending on who the person is. That was a little bit long-winded, but I wanted to get that in there. Is that it for me, Laverne?
Okay, guys, I'm sorry. My computer is the best. Also, that is all for me because we got one more E, and
Yes.
I got some great questions for that, so I'll let you take it away there.
Thank you. Last but not least, the next artist here we have is Eric Brinkman. So Eric, he's an amazing ceramics artist, a curator, and he's an educator also, who I met in Manhattan Beach area of California. So I took a ceramics class with him with a friend I was working with, and Eric, he was extremely patient. Nothing with him seemed unfixable, and he always took his classes or viewed his class more of a exploratory place. So without us even really discussing that, I noticed that about him, is that he created this space for people to explore and actually to discover. And I think that was what really drew me into him, is that he wasn't too particular, because he had an understanding of what it means to create as a creator himself. But one thing that really brought our friendship to the next level is us showing an appreciation for our craft. He's seen appreciation. I'm also a designer, so he's seen one of my bouchants. I actually brought one in. We were always talking about what we did and what we're doing and ways that we can partner up. And he's seen my bouchant, and his reaction was a really, really genuine reaction, that he really enjoyed and loved my work, just as much as I loved his work. Like, I've never really seen anyone I've never seen ceramics like being done, and not at the level that he was doing it as well. So for us to trade our pieces, it showed a level of respect for the hard work that we did, because his pieces, to me, they're valued really highly. And of course, if you see my Bouchants, they're pretty expensive as well. But to see another artist and to recognize the beauty in their work and being able to connect in that way, I think that has led us to a friendship that still is growing, because we wanted to work on a few pop-up shops together. So yeah, with no further introduction, thank you for being a part of this. When I gave you the call as well, you came on board, and it seemed like it was just natural. So I do appreciate that. So a few questions that I have for you. I'm just gonna go through it first, and then I'm gonna have a few questions. I want people to see your work here, man. This is incredible. I'm not gonna go to the last one yet. You know I'm not. So to start off, so do you take out time to, so we're focused on evaluation. So do you take out time to evaluate yourself, your work, and interactions with others? And I have a follow-up question from that. How does it serve your work as an artist?
Sorry, I'm getting a bit of a delay here. Can you guys hear me, hopefully?
Definitely.
Right on. Yeah, so to tackle that first question, the short answer is probably way too much self-evaluation. It's actually been a bit of a detriment to me in the past. And I think there's probably a few people on the line here that can attest to that, that I tend to be pretty critical of myself. And so one of the things I've been focused on more recently, and it's something that Brad actually outlines in his book, is actively separating out emotion from the evaluation process. So I'm trying to be more pragmatic when I'm looking back at my work and my interactions with others and my work as a teacher, and just focusing more on a pragmatic rubric rather than an emotional one. And then I think your second question was, how does it serve me as an artist, the evaluation process?
Yeah, I think you kind of touched it, but go ahead. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, you know, as evaluation pertains to ceramics, it's like the most important part of my practice, bar none. You know, ceramics is so contingent on chemistry and physics. And so I'm basically using the scientific process through my practice of ceramics. And, you know, it's basically coming up with a theory or an idea that I want to explore, and then through an iterative process, hopefully arriving at that theory. Like you see some of these drippy glazes here, and that was actually like a 2-year project of hundreds of different iterations of that glaze to get the desired effect that I wanted.
Wow.
So it's definitely, you know, the biggest part I would say is, yeah, looking back and evaluating. And, you know, I think it's in ceramics, I basically think it's like you get out what you put in. And so through all of this experimentation and iteration, the work becomes really personal, and I really like that process. So yeah, I would say evaluation is definitely key.
Thank you for sharing. You know, I'm going to go to the next one, but I do want to stop at these. As far as the process for now turning this into a lamp, was that transition a bit the easier part of it?
Yeah, honestly, you know, fitting the electrical components in was, compared to achieving the drippy effect with the glaze, was definitely easier. Although, you know, I relied on my previous experience as a production potter to be able to size the pieces appropriately appropriately so that they could accommodate the electrical parts, which is actually really tough because there's so much shrinkage occurring throughout the process. So you really have to know the material well to be able to get those measurements correct.
Awesome. And we're gonna go to your last piece. This is like my favorite one right here.
Thanks, bro.
Man, like this amphora is, it's everything. So like just a question, how sensitive are you to your work, and how do you stay balanced? You just talked about how like what do you do to try to stay balanced, or what will you start to do? Because I know you just said like evaluation has been kind of heavy. So yeah.
Yeah, so to tackle that first question, you know, I used to be extremely sensitive to how my work was received by others, but it's another thing that I'm really working hard on. And I'm really trying to separate myself from the work once it's finished and that's out in the world. You know, I allow myself to be emotional and attached and engaged with the work as I'm making it. But basically, as soon as it's done, I need to cut that relationship off and allow the piece to have its own life, because, you know, art is so subjective and everybody brings their own story and their own lens to the work when they view it. So I want to allow that work to kind of take on its own life. And then the second question there, how do I stay balanced? I think it's probably seeking counsel with others would probably be the best thing for me. Engaging in like public discussion like we're doing right now. You know, if I stay internal in my own echo chamber, I tend to catastrophize everything, especially now in COVID times. Gets pretty heavy. So I think, you know, dialogue with others is really key for me to stay balanced. It's just great to have other people's perspective on my work, and just kind of take me out of my own personal headspace.
Awesome. And I really like this piece because I've seen a few different like amphoras, and they're very like Greek inspired. Like, I mean, I guess this is as well, but I haven't seen it with, you know, basically the appropriation with the logos and everything. And I think that's pretty dope because I haven't seen it. I don't know if there's a lot of them out there, but if not, I think you're creating something here where a lot of people, especially people that are into the culture of, you know, brands and names, they'll probably really want to get one of these pieces in their home. So thank you for sharing.
Thank you, bro.
All right. Vern, you with us?
All right. The final E. Can you guys hear me? Or
Absolutely.
did COVID get me? All right. Okay. Bad joke. Sorry, too soon. All right, here we go. Evaluation. Here's the E. I'm over it. All right. One of our greatest gifts as human is our ability to self-reflect and ponder what we have seen and heard. Exercising that ability is one of the best decisions we can make. When we digest our food, our stomach breaks it down in order for it to be distributed properly within our bodies. Some of that food is waste, some of it goes to our bloodstream, some is stored, and the rest undergoes a period of processing in our livers. But imagine if we never digested our food. We would be pretty unhealthy beings, failing to absorb the nutrients that would keep our bodies functioning. Our food would go in and then just pass through our bodies. Likewise, when we fail to reflect on our lives, the world just passes us by, missing any opportunity to nourish our mind. Self-reflection is the necessary process for absorbing the wisdom and understanding through which we might grow as a person. Remember, the emotional reaction to an event is not the same thing as a genuine reflection. Our emotions spur us to develop opinions. Reflecting upon those emotions and opinions is similar to the process of editing something that you are writing. Do you want to present your work as a polished book, or one that's full of errors you have decided not to correct? Edits and corrections take time. Rereading what is in front of you and deciding to make the most sense, particularly to your audience, takes a process of reflection and review. We have the control to review our thoughts before we put out our finished work. Our rash thoughts are not well equipped to guide our responses. We are liable to misjudge a situation when we fail to take a moment to evaluate it with a calm mind. A healthy reflection process involves slowing down to digest all the information given to us, then analyzing how we might internally distribute the resources to most effectively respond to the situation at hand. As we dig into this section, I want to give you permission to forgive yourself. We often fail to forgive ourselves, forgiving the fact that no one is perfect. When we accept that we can forgive ourselves for not being the keeper of all knowledge is when we get back to being a part of humanity. Being fully human will always take vulnerability. Forgiving ourselves and others is the medicine for healing any relationship. When we operate without that peace, we are tethered to our expectations of others and ourselves. As you reflect from moment to moment, remember to practice forgiving ourselves oh, this is good. You guys got to get this, okay? As you reflect from moment to moment, remember to practice forgiving yourself first. As this will give you the peace to evaluate your interactions more accurately. I love that, Brad. Sorry, my phone rang. It's not the president, I'm not taking it. Okay?
Good.
Yeah, they need to understand what's going on. Okay, so here we go. Brad, I have a question for you in regards to this last E. So you talk about like reflection, obviously, evaluation, reflection. Some could say they're very similar, if not the same. Are there any tactile practices that you have, that you can share with us that you use and even like inspire us to use to evaluate your actions or reflect upon your actions?
Sure. I feel like we've been taught to respond. Like conversation teaches us if someone says something, we need to respond. And I've learned not to. As awkward as it may seem, I think it's awkward because it's not what's normal. It's not what we were taught to do. So rather than responding at times, I wait until I really have something of substance to say. And if I don't, I just let it linger because it's not necessary to always respond. Sometimes thinking through a process, I realize actually there's nothing I really need to say here. I just need to listen. But I realized that all it really takes is a few seconds. So one practice that I do, and I don't want people to think I'm not listening to them when they're talking, but I've learned to be more of an active listener by just waiting. And it may seem a little bit awkward. Actually, nobody has told me it was awkward. So yeah, no one's gonna notice. Just taking a few seconds to sit back and relax and think through what's going on. Like, how's this person feeling? What's going on? It has helped me have better responses or know how to respond and not offend somebody. That also has to do with emotions too. Like if you're gonna speak because you're angry, all it takes is about 5 seconds to stop and think about what you're gonna say. And sometimes for some people, depending on how hot you are, it can take up to 20 minutes. But I'm saying take 5 minutes at least to consider what you're gonna say and realize why you're trying to say that. I've had to learn that a lot, and I think I've learned through experiences by pride. Like I told you, I would just react because I was taught to react. But after a while, I started thinking, why am I reacting? And what is the purpose of me reacting? So when I thought through those questions, I realized that I actually didn't need to react in that way. I was just doing it as a system that I was taught. So yeah, that. And also, I want to share something else that's really important about evaluation. Um, like even in this chat, like, you know what I'm saying, there could be plenty of people that are like, you know what, this OB, this Ogum, this Brad, whatever, I can't stand this guy. You know what I mean? Like someone can hate me right now, and honestly, that doesn't concern me. Like I'm not concerned with that. And I think a lot of what we do is we say, well, you know what, I'm gonna do this because I want to prove them wrong. I want them to know who I am. But usually the way I process and what I'm continuing to work on with my processing is I'm not trying to prove anybody wrong at all. I'm living to prove myself right. So I'm not doing things to prove people wrong. I think we need to spend a lot more time understanding ourselves. So that's why I spend more time processing and proving myself right about who I know I am. When we take the time to prove other people wrong, it takes all that attention away from learning about ourselves and doing things as reactions.
Awesome. Okay, in the chat, guys, let me know. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me, just because I'm having a slight delay, but I want to know that you all are there. And okay, awesome. Thanks. Thank you, Simone. Okay, Brad, I have one final question. We are wrapping up this awesome artistic experience and book launch, but I'm bringing it back to the V in vulnerability, and I'm going to challenge you to answer this question. Okay. It says, this is my last question in the last E that will require the V, vulnerability, okay?
Okay.
So what's something you've had to forgive yourself for? Because that was a very powerful section, but is there something recently or in your life that you've had to forgive yourself for that's notable, you know, and that may have even, you know, enabled you to write this book, which is quite the accomplishment. But whatever comes to your mind, I just empower you to briefly share with us all and leave us, you know, inspired to being vulnerable ourselves.
Sure. I had to forgive myself for having to be I would say for having to be responsible, right? So what I mean by that is because of, I think, how I've grown up, I feel like I take responsibility for a lot of things. And I had to forgive myself from taking responsibility for a lot of things and things that actually did not align with where I was going. So no matter who was in my circle, I took responsibility for protecting them. Taking responsibility for making sure I don't let them down and what have you. And I had to forgive myself for what would be considered letting someone down, knowing that that needed to happen in order for me to grow in the way that I needed to. So I had to forgive myself, knowing that just me, my personality is I don't like letting people down. But there has to be a point when you are going to let somebody down. We're not indestructible, and not everything is meant for you to not let people down. But I would challenge you guys to do the same. Like, as far as that was, it's actually been a really vulnerable thing for me to realize that I would be letting somebody down. I would, to the end, I'm like, yo, look, or if I had a job or something, or I'm like, I have to do it to the best of my degree. But when it was time to go, I wouldn't let go. So I think it was really important for me to know, okay, it's okay to let go and realize that there's probably going to be somebody else that's going to step in and support them just as good as you or better. So in my mind, it's like, if I'm not here, everything's going to burn up in fire. And I had to realize that's actually not accurate. So being able to forgive myself and realize that, no, I don't have to show up everywhere, but I can still be present and be that source, be that person. That was it for me.
Brad, that was brilliant. I really appreciate that. As a recovering codependent, I can totally relate. I can totally relate. But congratulations. Thank you for sharing your heart, your soul, and your mind, and everything that you've just poured into the pages of this book. And also using this opportunity, especially in global crisis to empower other artists to use your accomplishment to not only promote yourself, but to promote others. So that's really, really huge, especially in a time like now. I want to thank you for allowing me to host this really special and hopefully, memorable experience, you guys. I hope you had a great experience, everybody on the screen. And then Brad, I hope I represented you well. I just want to express my love and gratitude to you and send you just so much affirmation and peace through the airwaves of the internet. Thank you for allowing me to host your event. I'm going to pass it to you as you announce the second raffle winner and close this beautiful book launch. And I congratulate all of you involved. You're brilliant, you're beautiful, and thanks for letting me host.
Thank you. Appreciate you. I'm really honored. So thank you so much for doing it. We're going to close up with a few giveaways, 2 books at least. So, we're going to do 2 books. So Ujoma, I think that's you. You already won something. I don't know. I know your UK time, so that's a bit challenging. So you won something. I don't remember what you won, but you won something.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
I
for
really
sure.
appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. We have more, so you may win again. I don't know if she's taking the names out, but we'll see.
Yeah, taking the names out.
You took them out?
Have a chance.
Okay, perfect. So right now we'll be raffling off 2 books. So if you can pull out 2 names, Adina.
Yeah. So I pulled out the first name is Addie Reyes.
Addie Reyes. Addie. I don't know if she's here.
I can see an Addie here.
I'm here. I'm just still trying to put my 2-year-old to bed, so I'm kind of like here now.
Oh, well, Addie, look, you just won a book, so you can give one to a friend or keep 2.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you for being here. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's Addie. So, Addie, Adina, are you gonna? Is she's supposed to email you? I mean, send you a message in the in the comments.
The chat, yeah, the private chat.
Okay. Send her a private chat message, and we'll go from here. All right. So the next one.
Yeah, the next one is Simone Henderson.
What? Don't tell me.
Hey, Uncle Brad.
Oh man, Simone. So she won.
I want it signed again.
This is my niece, my goddaughter, my everything here.
Oh, hi. Hi.
So she just won, which is awesome. Look at this. This is crazy. So now you can get one for your mom or something, maybe. So I'll be in Connecticut, so I'll bring that back for both of you guys, actually, because you're in Connecticut. All right. Next, so I want to challenge people to be vulnerable. So if you're going to be vulnerable, please raise your hand, and I'll have Adina choose somebody. I don't know how we could do this, Adina. Maybe if somebody raises their hand in the chat, you can like randomly pick a hand or something like that.
Do you have a question for them?
Well, if you do that first, then I'll say the second part. Just pick somebody first that's willing to be vulnerable.
So, no one?
No, raise your hand in the chat, like the little hand button. I'm not gonna ask you guys to like dance or anything.
And
see, everyone's afraid of vulnerability. I told you, but it's important. Remember, the goal is that you do it because it's something greater that comes out of it.
Okay, so we have a Simone Fortner.
Simone Fortner?
Yeah.
Okay, so please get her information. Actually, no, get 3 names, 3 different names.
Okay, so we have Simone Fortner.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello, Simone. Thank you for being vulnerable.
Of course.
This is gonna make you like have to be even more vulnerable, though. Just know that.
Oh God.
Okay, so Simone Fortner. Who else?
Leslie Villafana.
Hey, Leslie Villafana. Yeah. Okay, Leslie, you ready for this? But I guarantee you, it's gonna make you have a better life, and I think it's more of what we need to happen in this world. And then one more person.
And the last one is Jay Kinese Evans.
Jay, where are we?
I'm sorry if I'm butchering your names.
Raise your hand. Who is it? I think I seen Ketchy in here, and I don't see no hand raised.
Me, Jake and Eve.
Jake and East. Oh, okay, there we go. So, awesome. So what I'm gonna do, actually, can we get two more? Let's do two more. Two more vulnerable people. Let's go.
Okay, there is Vicky Gabriel.
Vicky.
And Rebecca Burgess.
Oh, Becca. Okay, so Vicky and Becca. Can we see your faces? Where are you guys at? Are you guys
here.
there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Hey, Becca. I can't see your face. Oh, there we go. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. And we have Vicky. Where's Vicky's face? Vicky. No, no Vicky. How about Vicky's voice? You know, we challenge people to be vulnerable, but we don't want to frighten people. You know.
She's having internet problems.
Okay, let's get one more in case Vicky doesn't work out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6.
Wait, me.
My name. Gregory Brown.
Greg? Okay, Greg.
What's up?
All right. You know what? I'm never going to forget that story you told me, right?
What we talking about?
About, what was it, Japan?
Oh, yeah. That's good.
That was amazing, bro. But, yeah, so for you guys that were vulnerable, I'm going to give you guys each 2 masks. So there's these 2 masks to protect your face. But look at what it reads.
They're really cool masks.
Nice.
What does that say?
Nice.
If you can read this, I love you. So how vulnerable would that be? But imagine what that may do to people that you're walking by, and you know how it may make their day feel. I think I've seen a lot of masks that said if you're like, you know, if you can read this, you're too close. Like, what type of narrative is that, right? So rather than trying to push people away from us, we can just give people a message, especially if we're going into this era of wearing masks. Let's wake up the people. Let's make people feel good about themselves. So I'll be sending you 2 of these masks each. Now the challenge is being able to wear it and feeling comfortable. So feel that uncomfortable feeling and do it anyway. Because I know if I were to wear one of those in the hood, I'll take it off. But today, I would wear it in the hood. I would change that narrative. You know what I mean? So I think it's more important to go into, you know, difficult neighborhoods or neighborhoods you're not frequently involved in, and do something that just pushes those feelings within you to retract or push back. So thank you guys for being vulnerable. Please private message Adina and she'll get your information. Did you already get all that yet?
Not everyone.
Oh, don't get scared now.
So please write to me. Just send me your email and then we can get in contact with you.
And lastly, we have the, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even talk about Eric is actually giving away a mug as well. So Eric, can I let you talk a little bit about that, and then we'll raffle that off right away?
Yeah, sure. I've actually got it right here in my hand, if you can see this little guy. So drinking vessel, instead of the typical handle you would see normally on a mug, I do this more kind of sculptural appendage situation here. Nice. Kind of makes you consider the form a little bit more, interact with it in a non-traditional way. So yeah.
Wow.
Ceramic mug.
I might need one of those too, bro.
Hey, you got the T-bowl, bro. Don't get greedy.
I did get that. You're right.
I'll hook you up. Don't worry.
All right. So how are we going to do this one? Can you pick a name, Adina, out of the...
Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I have a Samantha Nesbeth.
Samantha Nesbeth. She's still here?
No? Okay.
Is she?
Go further.
She was here earlier.
No, she's not here anymore. Have a Tiffany Stewart.
Tiffany Stewart.
No. No, okay. Oh. Then Pamela Milbury.
Pamela Mayberry. Pamela.
No, then maybe we can switch to the chat and see who wants it a lot.
No, I'll say keep going. We want to do it for the people who are here.
Okay.
You know.
Ann Johnson.
Are you here, Ann? I know Ann was here earlier. Oh no, Ann. I'm gonna tell her later too.
No. Okay.
I'll take it.
Honey Ray.
Honey Ray? Is Honey Ray? I don't think she's here anymore.
No.
Let's keep going.
Okay. Oh, I think that she's here. Leslie Villafana.
Leslie, winning again. Let's get it. Okay.
We're here.
Yay.
There we go. So Leslie, just private message Adina.
Yes.
And now we have the prints. So Letticia, do you want to just give the 5 prints out, or do you want it as a collection or individually?
Hang on, sorry. I don't know. I think if we did them individually, more people would get them.
Yeah, that's true. What do y'all think? Thumbs up if that's a better option?
Yeah, they're like, I want it.
Okay.
Yeah, let's pick 5 people and you can send it off to them.
Okay, that sounds good.
So I have a Victoria Cook.
Victoria, Vicky Cook.
No. Okay, then I go further. Mona Lisa Wallace.
Mona Lisa?
No. Okay, then I go further.
Mona Lisa's a friend of mine.
She should have stayed.
Yes. Then we have a Vanessa Sanchez.
Vanessa.
It's pronounced Ketsia.
Sorry.
I don't think that's it, actually.
I'll actually just send Ketsia one for that because she's awesome.
Look at that. You just scored one, Kets. Send your name to Adina, Ketsi.
Okay, then I will go further. Dylan Day.
Dylan Day. Let's keep going.
Okay. Kinebe Esquipo. I'm so sorry for butchering names.
Are you showing it? Let me see what it is.
Yeah. Can you see me?
Finally.
Chineme. Hey.
Finally, man.
Hey, man. Definitely. What's going on, bro?
What's good? Congratulations, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Chineme, someone else.
Oh, hi, everyone, as well.
Hi.
Well done.
That's mom.
Hi, Chiname.
Oh, Auntie. How you doing? How everyone? Well done to all the artists as well. You lot were amazing.
Awesome,
Yes.
man.
Oh, well done. I'm proud
Appreciate
of you,
brother.
seriously, man.
Appreciate it.
Proper. Yeah.
I love it, man.
Wait, what did I win?
You want a picture from out of Letitia's collection.
Oh, okay.
So I'll mail that off. I'll send that off to you.
All right, cool. Well done again, everyone.
Thank you. It's like $60 shipping to UK. I got you.
Brad, just don't put the price of the work, because if you do, then they'll have to pay a big tax.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I have another name, Samira Ho.
Samira.
Going once, going
I
twice.
want the
No?
people here to win. I don't know. Hopefully you guys all RSVP, because if not, then
Yeah. Okay. I have one Tom Montgomery.
Tom Montgomery, is he here?
Me, I'm here. Yeah.
Hey, what's going on, Tom?
How you doing?
Hey, man, Tom, he's actually my animator. He animated one of my videos. He's an awesome dude, man.
Nice.
Awesome dude. So you just won. Please send a private message to Adina, and she'll get that to you.
Okay.
Yes.
How you feeling? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Awesome, man. Glad you were here with us.
Okay. The next one is Nan. Okay. Nan
Namdi.
Amaechi.
That's my brother. Wow. Look at that. I don't know if he's here, but is he here? See? He's
No,
not
it's
here.
Nada. It's not Namdi. It's
Oh, it's
Nada.
Nada?
Sorry.
I think Nada's here, though.
Congratulations to me.
That's my sister, yeah.
No, your sister.
Wonderful.
Congrats, Nat.
Namdi would have never RSVP'd.
Well, thank you for being here. This is like my biggest supporter, man. Like,
Woo-hoo.
Thank you. Where's
So
your
excited.
face?
This
We
is
don't want to see
phenomenal,
your picture.
everyone.
We want to see your live face.
It's dark in my location. I'm in Nigeria right now, everyone.
Oh my gosh. No, you're not. All right. So private message Adina so she can get that to you now.
Brad, can we give one to your mom?
Wow, that'll be nice.
Oh, that is so sweet.
1 of the 5.
That is so sweet. Thank you so much.
You're most
Wow.
welcome.
Thank you. Mom, where's your face at? I want them to see how young you are.
I don't know what happened to my face. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened to my camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
So
you guys are awesome.
Thank you so much. And was that the 5th?
I think we have one more, right?
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I think so. I have a Lorraine Hines.
Henderson. Lorraine. Mama Lorraine. Right? Is she here? Did she leave?
I don't know. Mama, stop playing.
Hey. Did she leave? Is that you, Jen?
No, it was
I can see her in the chat. Or I
You
can
left?
see her name.
Oh, Lorraine Hines. Oh, yeah, that is her, though.
Yeah.
She must be cooking or something.
Yeah, the camera might be, the microphone might be not on.
You're not with her now? Oh, no, you're at school, right? So, okay. Okay, well, since he's here, we should let her win that, right?
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, awesome. Thank you guys so much, man. I'm actually just honored to be able to share work with all of you guys. I mean, I think it's been a journey for me to write a book, and just to have the support from all you guys is, man, it's priceless, and I'm just really honored and happy. So yeah, I just want to also say, like, a lot of this is not only for me. I like to give back, and there's going to be a portion of this that's going to go to the Art Space New Haven. So you can actually go to the website, which is wakeupthesoul.com, to get some of the artwork that you've seen from these artists. They have prints. You know, there's so many different things you can get to support the artists, to support myself, and to support the students that would be in this apprenticeship. I also would like to just share, I want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. Yeah, I just want to thank everyone that was a part of this. So that means all the artists. Thank you guys for, you know, being here with me, being a part of this, contributing in any and every way that you have. I want to actually really give a huge shout out to, like, the newest person I've met. One of the newest people I met, Adina. She's been helping me virtually for about maybe 3 months now, or 2 months.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that. But she's been extremely helpful. I have another assistant that's been helping me. I don't think she's made it today, but Adina specifically was, this was like the brainchild for her. And, you know, every week we would just get on a call and make sure we made it happen. I just want to encourage all you guys that you guys all can make whatever it is you feel you want to happen, because this book just started from an idea. And from that idea, the branches just started growing. To look at this now where people are actually watching me talk about a book, it's just powerful. And I think that this is something that I could never get if I decided to stay in my comfort zone. So as I talk about these things in my book, I still live them. I still am human. I still struggle with them. But at the same time, I make sure that it is the foundation of what I do, that I'm always working on being vulnerable. I'm always working on looking at the highest experiences that I've dealt with rather than focusing on the poor experiences. I'm always working on building relationships. It doesn't matter who you are. I'm not going to look at you less than a human being because we're in this together. Gratitude. I wake up every day just thankful because some people don't have the, you know, they're not afforded the opportunity to wake up. So just the very little things become very important. So I try to focus on a mindset of going to sleep knowing that tomorrow is going to be something I could be grateful for, and that changes the narrative. And lastly, evaluation. Always focus on evaluating yourself, not once a month, not once a year, but moment to moment. It's really important that we're well. And being well has helped me work with a lot of students and actually be a big part in their lives and in their futures. And I think that had to do a lot with how I viewed myself and what I was capable of. So recognize that you're capable of great things, regardless of what you've been hit with, what you've been burdened with. We all have something great. There's one student I will always remember, and he said, this was a student that was in the 2nd grade, and he wrote me a letter and he said, you're going to be remembered. He said, you're going to be blessed by the things that you do. And this was a 2nd grade kid. And I'm just like, who taught you to say that? It couldn't have come directly from him, not in my opinion. I think he had some divine intervention right there. But if Becca, you're still on, I don't know. You may remember this kid. This was Leonard. Is Becca here? Did she leave?
She's still
maybe she
here,
left.
but she's
Oh, okay.
I'm here. Sorry, I do remember Leonard.
Oh my gosh. So it was Leonard who wrote that to me. He was actually probably, I think, in the 1st grade. And, you know, Leonard, he wasn't even writing stuff like that. But I remembered that from that point on, and it just holding on to the things that are true to your personality, even from a kid. So to value what someone that just made it into this world for like 6 years is writing about me is still as valuable as somebody that is a celebrity or whatever and tells me something. So being able to see yourself correctly and accurately is very important for your well-being and for other people. So thank you guys for your time, shedding more light and love to each and every one of you. Thank you for all my family and friends and people I may not even know, just people that purchased the book, for being here. It means a lot. And we will have information emailed to you about this where you can get this link so you can always go back to this presentation. If you haven't purchased the book yet, you still have time. Go to wakeupthesoul.com. Like I said, everything you purchase is going to be contributed to my journey as an entrepreneur. All of this stuff that you've seen here was all paid through me, no funding at all, but also for the artists and for future artists. So thank you so much. I think I've ranted enough. I'll stop there.
Also, please leave comments if you like the book.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. Leave a review. If you have the book already, please leave a review. It's very important so people can understand what you've gotten from it, what you've picked out from the book. And it also helps me to sell more books because people now have an idea of what it worked or what it's done in somebody else's life. So thank you for that. And I think that is all. Did I miss anyone? Did I thank my mom? Thank you, Mom. I love you. Because I know after this, she's going to be like, oh, you didn't even thank me? Like, I born you. Like, I brought you in. No, but I thank you, Mom, for real. Like, my greatest support, greatest inspiration. Thank you so much.
This was wonderful. Thank you.
Oh yeah, last thing, I'm sorry, before you guys jump off, I did want to leave it open to one or two, what did I have here in my notes? So actually, I wanted to leave it open for one or two testimonies from the book. So maybe anything you've learned from it, something that resonated with you, just so people have an idea of what I'm writing and how my passion has worked in your life in any way. So just one or two. Don't all raise your hand at the same time. Vulnerability. Adina, no hands went up? Dang, my book is that bad.
Well, I wanted to say something. I'm sorry I can't show my face, but so I'm not quite sure. What was your question? I just wanted to say something that impressed me of the book.
So that was pretty much it. It was if one testimony or anything you can share about the work that I've done.
Okay, good. A testimony, good. So it was the big, I think it was probably like the first or second page where you were expressing how you felt moved to include God into, you know, like your whole conversation in terms of the book. And there's a part where you kind of like say that you kind of like were afraid or something like that, but you kind of like, you went from talking to us to then talking to God directly. And you said something like, you know, I trust you, or I know you won't harm me. So I'll just go wherever you follow. I wish I had, let me see, I have it right here. Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, we're going deep. This is the end, guys. Look.
All right, I found it because I actually highlighted it. It says, God, I trust you on this journey, even though I am unclear of the end point. I know you won't harm me, so I go willingly into the unknown. I think that kind of like just really stood out for me, because you no longer were talking to me or whoever the reader was. You were directing that to God, and just letting us know in general that, you know, if you truly believe in God and you know he won't harm you, you can kind of like just open your arms and just soar, just let him lead you where he's going to take you. And I think that was what drew me closer to the book, was just reading that part right there.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing.
The part that I mean, loved at the very beginning, which made me keep reading, was the part just about how our beliefs about children, and not just children, but other people, will basically guide our relationship and influence their entire lives. So you had said, when we put a derogatory label on a student, we subconsciously shift our mission away from imparting the necessary skills and knowledge. Instead, we become focused on the student's actions. This thought, what a troublemaker, turns into a cancer. More and more of our limited attention is occupied with catching and correcting the mischief. This focus isn't about helping the student so much as confirming our thoughts about the student, thus converting the cancerous thought into a belief. And so I know Ogum and I got to work in a school together for about 4 years. There's always going to be teachers who are looking for the best in their students, and always teachers who are looking for the worst. And kids always rise to whatever expectation their teachers have of them. And it actually is something that can change an entire future and change an entire life. I really appreciated that.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing. Truly appreciate that. All right. We have like 20 hands up, but because we got to go, I'm going to cut it off there. Actually, I don't see any hands up, but we're going to cut it off there, guys. I really appreciate your time, your willingness to be here and support. Just you being here alone is a connection that will last for quite some time, until our next engagement. So thank you so much. You guys have a great Saturday evening or Sunday morning, depending on where you are, and peace and blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank
you, Brad.
Thank you so much.
Well done.
Beautiful.
Well done
We're
to all the
proud of
artists. Well
you.
done,
Yay.
Beautiful,
Thank you.
beautiful.
Jesse, beautiful music as well, Jesse.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
yeah.
familiar with the
Yeah.
tunes.
Thank you, Adina.
Yes.
Congratulations.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Well done, Brad.
See you later.
Thank you.
Bye.
Jesse, play us out. I think you're on mute, Jesse. We can't hear you.
Yo, y'all better put Jesse's Cash App up here.
You hear this, man? Do you hear this, man?
It's absolutely
I'm working
amazing.
on it. I'm getting there.
Great.
Slowly but
Jesse is
surely.
the problem, man.
Yeah.
You can actually play while on a handstand too, guys, just so you know.
Yeah, that's benefits of not going to school. You have lots of time to learn all sorts of other things.
Great. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It was really fun.
Jesse, man, thanks a lot for being a part of it, man. Like, I'm really glad, really glad. Adina, did you get all the names? She looking at me like, I'm trying to go back to sleep.
I forgot to unmute myself. I think so, but if not, I will track people down somehow.
Yo, y'all don't understand. Like, Adina's like my sister right now. Like,
Agam, what's the name of the
every
girl?
week.
Agam,
Yes,
what's the name of the girl that gave me the gift?
that was Letticia.
Oh, I kept thinking it was Adina.
No.
Well, Adina is the one that's, well, I'll make sure your information is given.
Okay.
Mom, why don't you want to show your face?
Thank you, Adina, for doing such an awesome job.
No worries. It was a lot of fun. It was, yeah, really fun 3 months.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you guys really pulled it off. It's really awesome.
Mom, show
Yes.
your face. What's wrong with you?
My camera is not working.
That's impossible. You have like an
Unfortunately,
iPhone.
no, I'm using a different computer.
Oh, okay.
This is where Nada gets it from.
Hi, Micah.
Hey, hey, Mama.
How are you?
What up, Jazzy? I'm wondering who was that. I should have known it was you because you were doing some like workout poses in the corner. I'm like, who is that doing yoga? Well, I mean, you were stretching pretty nicely. I can't stretch like that, but you're a dancer, so you could do stuff.
When was I stretching?
I think it was earlier on though. You got blue jeans on?
No, I have on sweats, gray sweats.
Oh, maybe it wasn't you. My bad.
But hey, good job.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate.
All right, Bradley.
Hey, Micah, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate all your support too. I'm waiting for your review because I know it's going to be profound.
That is true.
You know?
That is true. I got you.
How are the kids?
They're good. There's a lot of them, but they're good.
I know. They're
Oh,
growing.
did you notice Pat was on here? Is she supposed to be having a baby?
Oh,
Yo, what's
you
going on, Chini?
You should have shown your Bouchants because they're artistic pieces and you should have spoken about it and all sorts. I was waiting for that and I'm still waiting for that.
All right, I'll
Chideme, where's
start
your
right now.
brother?
I think you should go and get your Bouchons and show everyone your artistic expression.
I agree. I agree
In
with
the
you
garments.
guys.
You feel what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let me keep talking because you know I'll pull out some other things from the bag.
Maybe I should. I don't, you know, they're
Yeah,
all,
I think you should.
you know, it's not gonna go with this, bro. Like this, it's like some silk.
All right, I'm signing off. Good night.
Jesse, appreciate you. Will I'll tap in later and check in.
Yeah, for sure.
All
Have
right.
a good one.
You too.
Good job, Jesse.
Who said my name like so strong? Who was that?
That's our in-law.
Hey, how you doing?
Great.
Can I see your
Well
face?
Oh, you want to see my face?
Yeah, I want to see a beautiful face.
Okay, well, let's start video now.
Hey, Ma. How are you?
Doing very great.
Good. Thank you, man. Thank you for joining in. I really appreciate that support.
Yeah, we thank God.
Yeah. Did you?
Oh,
Was
well,
it good? Did you appreciate it?
Congratulations, Sogom.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done, eh? That was great.
Thank you, my in-laws, for
Oh,
staying.
yeah.
The first winner of the prize. Now, wow, I don't know how
I know, right?
I just don't know.
There was no Pasha.
No.
Yeah,
No Pasha in America.
No rigging.
No rigging.
What's Pashao like?
The Niger parents, y'all. You know what it's about.
Well, good night, oh. Bless
Have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.
Love y'all.
Bye.
Love you guys.
Love you. Bye.
So what's Patal that you just said?
Partiality, partial.
Oh,
So we
okay.
say Pasha.
Oh, so partial. Okay.
Partial.
I thought that was like Igbo. My bad. Cool,
You're
man.
writing to Chinema.
Inform, man. I see you there. I seen your picture a little while. Inform, you still there?
I was talking personally. Yeah.
Well, either way, Inform. I don't know if you stepped out, but I appreciate you jumping on, being a part.
What are you talking about? We can hear you here.
You here?
I'm calling.
Inform, where's your video at, bro?
Sorry, man.
Hey, man. Appreciate you jumping on.
What's up? How you doing, man? Congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That was a great event, bro.
I appreciate that, man.
Sorry, I had to step out and put my things together. I'm leaving town tomorrow.
Oh, yeah?
I have to fly out as early as I have to be at the airport about 6:30.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. We had a great session, though.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad you tapped in for the whole time.
Very inspiring.
Awesome.
And I did enjoy that entertainment from is it Jesse?
Yeah. Yo, he's like he's kind of like a perfect pitch type of person, so he could play the instrument like like it's basically eating a bowl of rice. It's easy. Yeah.
And great work by Marissa, and there's this other lady with
Letticia?
Yeah.
Thank you. Well, you guys are there. Sorry.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Letticia, man, she's awesome too.
Yeah, shout out to Marissa. Amazing work.
Yeah.
Hey.
And Brad, I'm not done with reading your book yet, but I mean, there's a lot of takeaways from there.
Awesome. Thank you.
Problem with that is that, you brought your book when I was reading another book. So kind of, again, I'm not one of the very fast readers. So I've been juggling between 3 books.
Oh, wow. Okay. 3 is better than 1. So I respect that. You know.
I used to have my review.
You put a review up there?
No, I still put up a review, but I.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd love for it to be as real as possible. So I do appreciate that.
Sure.
Haley Yesin.
All right, guys.
Who's Haley? I know that last name. All right, brother. Thank you for
That's my
coming.
sister.
Oh, what? Show your face, Haley. What's going on?
I don't even know if she's even, is
Oh,
she even there anymore? She's probably, because she's actually at work.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So she's multitasking.
Yeah.
I know my brother's not up there. Chauncey Amaechi. See, you there,
Your
see?
sister is still here. Your sisters are so cute. They're so supportive.
My sisters are awesome.
They're literally, I love the relationship. I could just tell in her eyes the whole time. She was like, I'm just so proud.
Oh, Chiz, I think she's already off.
Yeah.
Booch, I see Booch. I don't see her. I see her picture.
I'm here, and I just don't appreciate the comment when you said Nada was more supportive, because I'm more than Nada.
Boo, first and foremost,
It's not about you. It's not about you. I'm talking about
foremost, I am the family's motivational speaker, and they learned it from me. So apparently, I am.
We gotta give you your props.
Yeah, what about me? What about me?
I know you left it out of your speech, Bradley. Like, what's that? What's that? You said she was the most supportive.
I want him in the beginning. It's the truth. It is the truth.
My bad.
I rest my case.
You know what? I had to think about that, and after I said it, I was like, well, it's out there.
The truth shall set you free, man. It's okay.
Hey, don't worry. When Booch writes her own book, innit?
Booch is gonna write her own book. Trust.
When she writes her own book, she's gonna get you back.
Oh,
listen. The craziest thing is, I don't even need to write my own book because O wrote a book that goes with everything I taught him.
I can't.
So now all I gotta do is use his book as a reference.
Go back like, oh yeah, when I was, let me see, what was I doing there? Okay, all right.
And like, you know how important it is to be very intentional and meet people where they're at. It's so important to do that.
No, but so proud of you. Oh, this is wonderful. I love the virtual art gallery. That was crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah. That was something that I came up with Marissa.
Wow.
Yeah, just on a
That's
random
so
conversation.
technical. I love it.
Marissa's a G. I love it.
Marissa is the one. Forever, Marissa is the one.
Yeah.
Love it.
No, Bradley executed it. I'm not gonna lie. Like when we had the conversation, I was just like, he's like, I can't get it off my mind. I think I'm gonna do it. And I'm like, you go do it. And next thing you know, it was like, I've got assistants. This thing is happening in a couple of months' time. Get your pieces ready. I'm like, yo, this guy is on it. And that's the one thing I do admire about you, Bradley. Like, you're a man of action. So yeah. So
Marissa, you must know Chinaman. You must know him because
why is he grinning so much in it? He's just so he's a fan.
No, because y'all sound not the accent, but y'all just sound the same. Like the same
really?
Really?
Yes. I don't think he would want it. Chino would not be happy to know that he sounds like me. That's one thing for sure.
No. You sound like him just to make him feel better.
Oh really?
Okay, tell him.
No. He sounds like me.
I don't see it there, but
Take
still.
it back. I'm upset now. I liked you before. I liked your voice. I was like, she's a wise woman. But now.
Oh man.
Booch, man.
Ugoma, do you ever get that you look like Issa?
This is the first time I've heard that actually, but thank you very much. That's really kind. But no, I've never heard that before.
You definitely look like Issa. That's true.
I thought so. That's what I thought it was at first.
Yo.
Oh wow. Okay. Thanks.
Jamila, where you at? I see her. Is she still there?
She said she just learned today your name was Brad. I was cracking up.
Who said that?
Jamila.
Oh, for real? When did she say that?
No, she texted me privately.
Oh. Oh my gosh. Jamila, you still there or you hung up? What you doing? Regan, you still there? I see her, but I don't know if she's still there. Regan Haynes. See? Oh, you there? I was like, see, people get busy and just, you know what I mean? What up, Riggs?
Congratulations. Like, that's an amazing event. It was
I
so sharing, and like every single artist brought something that really serves the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing job for all the artists. Amazing.
I appreciate that, man. Why didn't you leave a testimony? Nah, just kidding. Just kidding. See, that's where the pettiness comes. Why didn't you raise your hand?
I mean, okay, I'll say something. I just think that I think someone else spoke it on it. I think it was Addie.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Touched on something that I think is very important, is that when you started writing the book, you wrote it for yourself, and then you had to go back and realize you weren't writing it for yourself, and you couldn't separate your writing from your relationship with God.
Which was big.
So it was necessary for you to have that conversation with him in your book.
Yeah, yeah. And I didn't even think about it like that, which is interesting. It just shows like how natural it was. You know what I mean? Because that just was flowing. I was just so.
Great job.
Well, I appreciate you, man, for being here, checking in. You know what I mean? Ujoma, appreciate it. The homie from the UK. When I come to the UK, I'm gonna meet you, Ujoma, yo, for real. Oh, there we go, Jamil. Like what you? I thought you was off. Like.
I messaged you. I had a quick phone call.
Oh, okay. Okay. Did you enjoy it? Was it all right? You didn't leave a testimony or nothing.
Wait, I thought I saw something in the invite. Did you use my quote?
In the invite? I could have, maybe.
I think so. I saw something that was a testimony, and I was like, I think that might be my quote.
That would have been really easy to just say what was in there, right? You know what I mean? Like you could have just.
I don't know. I was talking about how like there was a lot of gems in the book, and yeah, like I just took a lot of I had a lot of takeaways like immediately, and I also had a teaching experience, so that was helpful because I was able to apply some of the stuff. But I mean, it can be applied even outside of teaching. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you. So my brother is here, but he's not. Chauncey. Nah. Mom, he's not there, is he? All right. Cool. Nah, man, I thank you. I think I'm going to just go out, get something to eat. Probably take a double shot of water. Feel me?
Brad, before you go, I have one very quick question that I
Absolutely
want to ask you. It's Grandma. Hi. What I know, obviously, in part, there's been a conversation between you and Marissa in terms of wanting to actually set up a virtual art gallery. But in terms of the book launch, what made you decide to combine like literature with art and music specifically?
Well,
and in terms of what you thought that would like,
how would
I guess express maybe about your book. And yeah, I'm curious.
I take a lot of time and think, and like when I was sitting there, it was something we talked about, and then I was just like this for like a minute, and I think I was just sitting there, and then all of a sudden, I probably cut her off or something like, "Yo," you know what I mean? Like I just know how I am, but it was
very
just,
likely you did. Yeah, you got so excited.
Yo, so like I don't want to lose a thought, but I'll end up just saying it out loud, and I think I said it out loud.
I have moments like that. I get that.
Yeah, and because I think I was just connecting dots. She just started painting. I was thinking about the painting she painted of me, and like platforms for artists, and like how can I, and then we were talking about what if there was a platform. So that's where it started. It was like, what if there's a platform where you can put your art in a virtual gallery? So I'm thinking, and we're just thinking, I'm just like, yeah, that'd be dope. And I found it. I ended up Googling it right away or whatever. And I'm like, yo, this is a real thing. You can actually do that. So now I'm like, okay, I can lift text from my book. So I'm thinking of like everything, putting it together. So yeah, it's weird how it happens, but I had to do it.
It was great. Honestly, it's been a really beautiful 3 hours. Like
wow, thank you.
It's been really, really, really. No, thank you. Seriously,
oh
and thank
gosh.
you to everybody who was part of this. Like this was clearly no small feat on any measure. So yeah, like it was great. Really, really was.
Appreciate that, man. First time, so hopefully there'll be more.
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
absolutely. Marissa, she had one painting behind her head. Maybe she still got the one behind her head, I think. But that
Yeah, yeah,
joint, you gotta
yeah.
finish that joint.
That was there.
I
Oh
was
no, no,
waiting for
that
that
one.
one. Oh, okay.
That one,
I
yeah.
was hoping
That
that one
was
was in there too. That one looks like it's about
I
to.
know, honestly, me too. But it was just so many like jobs that I had to do. It was like,
Right.
even my sister's like, "Are you really gonna finish it?" I'm like, "No, Christmas time, I'm gonna dedicate some love with that one." So yeah, it's all good.
For sure.
Yeah.
Chin and man, this is my
What's
brother
good?
right here, man. Y'all don't understand how many conversations we have. Like,
I know. It's a lot. It's a lot.
this is what we talked about years ago, man. Like,
Yep.
so this is crazy. Verge, this is the man you guys can owe. So when we watch this video back, I believe Adina's recording it. He's the wordsmith for this. You know, he's an artist, so he's the one that was like, "Yo, nah, hold up." Then took it in a little remix and worked it out, and we got Verge. So man, I'm appreciative of all of you guys, man. Like, what would I have had? I think I would have had like, if we think about Verge, I would have had like, what was it? I would have had like Reveg or something. I would have had. I would have had something that wasn't Verge, but he was like, nah, hold up. So, you know, it's good to have thought partners too. So I do appreciate that.
Collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're super dope with it, man, because you were very humble throughout the whole process, and I literally got to give you props for that because you were very open-minded. Your whole process from 2 years ago, innit? We were chatting about this whole book.
Yo.
And you were telling me you're gonna do this thing, writing it in your house, writing it in cafes, writing it here and there. And I'm like, how are you juggling all of this work? And you did it. And you stayed persistent with it. You were consistent with it. The tenacity, the drive, the ambition.
Wow.
You overcame all the challenges and you were able to make this happen. This moment is a moment that started in your mind years before this ever happened, the whole corona, the whole craziness, and you were able to produce something out of an experience that was very personal to you. And it's a blessing, it's an inspiration. I don't know how many other people are on here. All the artists were amazing. And for others that are still here, keep doing what it is that you do, because every single step will turn into a great fruit, a great blessing. And I'm so appreciative that you were able to do this, and there's greater stuff that's going to come from you. There's things that I know I'm not going to speak of. I know you're going to unleash it to the world in due time, but I'm excited to see all those great, wonderful things. So keep up the good work and God bless you.
Appreciate you, brother. That means a lot. Great minds, man.
You already know.
Look that up. Great minds. What is it? Greatminds.com?
.co.uk, but we're under construction right now.
Okay.
It's not about me though anyway. It's about what you're doing, and it's a great thing, so keep it up.
I appreciate you, brother. For real. It means a lot, man. It means a lot. I don't want to hold y'all, man. I think I'm just going to be up here. So if y'all don't got nothing to do, then y'all can stay. But, I'm going to check in with Adina. Adina, how you feeling? Are you good? Are you a little bit tired? Let me know.
Little bit, but it's okay. Had some coffee.
Okay. Yo, this is my sister, y'all. I want y'all to understand, like, I really appreciate, she's like.
No, I'm not really, let me tell you.
Mom, you see, I can't even.
What just happened?
They're upset because I'm still on the line, and Chisholm and Mom are hating on me. Oh my goodness, see? I can't. Muted.
Can I just say, your family, I had to go walk the dog, so I had to mute myself and put the video on hold. But your family is so freaking wonderful. They remind me of home so much. I am so homesick, and you made my night. Thank you so
Oh.
much.
Oh man, for
Mr.
sure.
I can't wait to meet you,
Banger.
Letticia. I could see us working and collaborating together in the future.
Oh
She's
my
awesome.
gosh, yeah.
She's awesome for sure. And where'd you get that? That's not your dog, is it?
No, I'm dog sitting and I'm sorry, this is like TMI, but it keeps farting and it's so
Oh
stinky.
my god, that's the worst.
And I don't know what to do because it's not my dog. I'm like, dude, you have to stop.
Man, what is he eating?
Dude, just like giant dog food. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, last time I say yes to helping anyone with a dog.
You know what? That's what happened when our dog sat like about a month, maybe it was a month ago, but that was it. I was like, nah, I can't do this again. It was
Well,
fun.
when you come home for the holidays, Ogum, we have a new dog you're gonna love.
Oh my gosh. Can you guys believe what my sister named this dog? I'm not even gonna do this.
No, say it, Bradley. Say it with your chest.
I'm gonna have her say it.
No, say it. Introduce her dog and then she can
She's
tell us.
laughing right now because it doesn't make sense.
Everyone loves
No,
the
what's
name.
the dog called?
What's
I
the
actually want to
name?
know.
I
You
wanna
don't
know.
want to know.
No one
I
believes
definitely
me.
do now.
It's
No one believes
annoying,
me.
yo.
When I tell them what his name is, including his doctor. Everyone knows now in town that this is his name. His name is Dog.
Yo. Literally dog. I'm like, yo, I'm not calling dog dog.
That's great. That's great.
He
No, I love
answers
it.
to
That's
his
great.
name.
Is
That's
it dog? No,
wildly
But the
funny.
important question is it dog with a single G or two G's? Like, I've got a feeling like he's got some persona too, so he should have two G's.
They call him D-O-double-G for short.
That's
I
what I'm
cannot.
saying. That's what I'm
That's so hilarious. That's
Oh my gosh. Nada.
actually so
Honestly,
funny.
I didn't
Dog.
give him that name.
Yes, you did.
I just gave him the name Dog, not D-O-double-G.
I don't even know how this thing happened.
But my son doesn't like the name, so he just calls him DJ. But his name is officially Dog.
Why?
She said, why?
No, not Dog. Not like D-A-W-G.
Yeah,
Because
why?
when we first found him, I didn't want my kids to get attached to him because we weren't sure if someone was going to claim him or not. So no one claimed him, and he always was answering to this name. So I was like, oh, why change it now?
You just called him dog?
Ever since then.
That's just like calling us, yo, human. Well, we do say man, yo, my man. Oh my gosh, that's too
He
much.
responds, and it's so easy. I mean, when he's running off, all you got to do is like, Dog! Dog! He comes right back.
Has to be the worst name.
No, it's great. It's wildly funny.
I just don't understand. You know what? I don't.
Look at Chinema's face.
I just want to be a fly on the wall at like the vet's appointment when this.
Yeah,
Hey, this is
what I'm
Dog.
saying.
What?
What?
Yo,
Who actually gave him that name?
Yes,
Nada.
that's his name. I will send you guys.
And now I gave him the name. And now you gave him the name.
I did.
Oh
you know, it takes
goodness.
vulnerability to do that because you have to bring this dog to the vet. You got to bring it everywhere. You got to
They
call
all
it.
know. Everybody in the neighborhood knows him. They're like, oh, hey, good morning, Dog.
Yo, what up, dog?
What up,
Yeah,
dog?
that's how I treat him. I'm like, what up, Dog?
Nada.
That's actually dope, though, I ain't gonna lie.
Yo.
Oh my gosh. I love you guys, man. This was
Love you
great.
too, man. For real. Nada, I'm glad you tapped in the whole time. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Now, why you hiding your face, though?
I look crazy, man.
So,
I look crazy. Okay, I'll take my camera off. I look like
yeah,
I look
you
like
should show your face.
Show your face.
show your face. Show your face.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay.
Mom
man,
says we all stayed to the end. Oh.
That's great, and I'm so
Of course,
glad.
you already knew that would be the case, man. Light work.
Deserves a prize. She deserves a prize for that.
Mom, yo.
Tell your mom to come back on the screen. She was hiding her face before. She didn't even put it. She put like a quarter of her face on the screen.
You're gonna answer to me. Trust me.
Auntie.
Yes, baby.
She doesn't want to see.
No, you better. I don't want to see. Shut the door.
The MTV cribs up in there, man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You guys, you see what I got to deal with around here?
Oh my
It's
God.
crazy. It's crazy.
Love that.
Nah, man, it's good seeing you, man.
It's good seeing you
your
too.
mom, seriously.
She's something else, man.
It's good seeing you, man.
Yeah.
This feels like the after party to the launch, you know. You know when you have a party and then everyone's gone and then the remnants are left and it just.
I know, right? You're trying to wait for it to die down, but it won't.
Yeah, literally. Let me see Dog.
Oh, let me show you guys. Chisholm, where's Dog? Where have you kidnapped him to?
Oh snap, Chisholm's there as well.
Yeah.
You know we're in the same house, but plugged in differently.
No, he's not. He is under the blankets in your room.
No, he's not. He better not be in there.
He's where?
She's trying to say he's under my blanket, but I don't believe that. I would have felt him.
Adina, thanks for picking my name from the hat.
Adina?
Yeah,
Thanks for picking my name from the hat.
welcome.
It was rigged. No.
No, it
Oh,
wasn't.
you were just no for real. Now it's the after party bit. Why is so many girls' names? I was like, oh, just put this list together, man. I was like, nah. I don't see a guy's name come out any moment right now.
Dog!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's
Nah,
a dog,
man.
Bradley. It's a dog.
It's a dog.
It's a dog.
He was here the whole time. I didn't even know.
Letticia, thanks again for my gift as well. I appreciate it.
Say what up, dog.
I don't know if Letitia's still on. Oh, she might be muted.
She is, but her camera is muted.
Oh, let me show you guys his name tag so you know. Hold on.
Did
Let me
someone
show them
say your name?
Yeah, Chinamed was thanking you for
your
photo that he won.
Oh my gosh, you're so
Too dark.
welcome. My
Yeah, I
app
appreciate it.
Okay. Going back to bed.
Oh, man.
Wait. I never saw the dog.
I know.
Go
I
back
didn't.
again.
I wanted to see the tag. I didn't see it.
You never see dog. I never see dog in anything at all.
All right, dog. Look, say hi to the people. He's laying down on this stuff. Hold on. Here, you show them your name tag.
Oh my gosh!
Does it say dog?
Yeah, it says hello. My name is Dog.
Oh,
There's no.
I'm trying to find my dog.
It says hello. It says hello. My name is Dog.
Nah, the naming is dope, man. I ain't even gonna lie.
That's so funny. That's just great.
I'm trying to show them your tag. I know. You sleepy?
That's crazy. My name is dog.
Bradley, I think you rate it.
So.
The after party. Hey, if you're in the after party, your camera gotta be on, yo. We gotta see. You know, Chuck.
I think
need to wake you up.
This is a dictatorship. You're making the rules.
Yo, Nam. First
Where
of
is
all,
he finally showed your
you
face?
are mad, yo, bro. Were you here, fam?
Of course. Yo, first of all,
did you
with
RSVP?
Zoom, you could check.
Well, I'm
You
gonna
could
see how that feels.
how long
you gotta
everybody
show
was
your
on
face.
there. So you're gonna definitely see I was on there. I had a couple questions I wanted to ask, but you didn't really open up questions to the floor like that.
Yo, sick, yo, Nam. Throw your camera on, bro.
No. I'm saying, during it, like when you were doing the
right.
letters, you ain't open up questions to the floor, and I wanted to ask a couple.
Yeah, for real. I had my hand up for a hot minute as well, man. I wanted to ask some stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah.
Nam, you gotta show
Nam,
your
you
face.
gotta show your face.
You ain't gotta show your face now.
Point. I never found this hand raised. I'm still looking for where to raise my hand at.
There was an option to raise hand or something of that sort.
Yeah, it's like
Oh,
somewhere
snap, that
down
was for
there.
the mask or something. Who wants to be vulnerable? Yeah, I was trying to participate, man.
Adina, we talked about her only doing it during the mid-range.
But I
Because
might
they
have also
wanted to
missed
go past.
there are a lot of messages coming in. Now I was
Oh,
trying
yeah?
to keep an eye on the list and on the messages and on everything. Sorry.
Word.
Chuck,
Yo,
show your
Nam,
face, man.
that was Nam. Nam, don't disappear.
So-
bro.
No, Nam was there, but Chuck is here still as well.
So,
Chuck, show your face.
Agam,
Yeah.
something happened that I wanted to apologize from my friend Nkiru. So her
her daughter?
Yeah, her daughters went in and started typing things that said the host is not a good writer. Those are the kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but she couldn't get back in. She tries to come back in. She said that you guys blocked her from coming in and correcting that.
Yo, how old are those kids, first of all?
They're like 4 years old, 5.
They
I'm
can
like,
writing that?
Yeah, I saw
I
them
know.
though, but I didn't think nothing of it. I thought y'all would have known it was
Yeah.
them.
She was so mad.
I didn't see that. Adina, did you see that?
Yeah, I did, but I thought that it was a troll and it happened at the same time as the lines, so that was
Dang, Adina was quick. I didn't even know.
Sorry.
Oh, you blocked her?
I didn't block her. She went out and then I just didn't let her in.
Yeah, it was the kids. But she tried to come back in. She called me. She tried to call back in. And she was
Oh, please pay attention to your participants. Somebody raised their hand.
Who?
Yeah.
There's no hands raised.
Mom, you expected someone?
I
Oh.
learned how to raise my hand. That's all. But now that you noticed me, I could put it down.
Wow, you're neglecting people?
Yo, Nam, Nam starts talking an hour after it's over, yo.
Yo, I had questions. Yo, I promise you I had questions I wanted to ask the artists.
That's right? That's Namdi talking.
Who that, Wilson?
Yeah.
That's not Wilson, man. I haven't seen this guy in a long time.
Congratulate this man, everyone. He just had a baby girl. Woo!
Congrats, Sunny man.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Not yet?
Nah, that is false advertising, bruh.
Namdi, you should have been here.
I wasted my excitement. I gotta save it now.
Yo, turn your camera on, Nam. What you doing?
Mad dark.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Where's
It's
he
mad
at?
dark.
You hear dog?
He's in the other room. I think.
Tell him why is he on the phone but not on the phone.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Oh, you gotta tell him that.
Upstairs.
Oh yeah, let me tell him.
Is that the brother that looks like your twin?
Oh, those are the brothers. They look like twins.
No, you know what's funny? Everybody be saying I look like you too, oh.
It's crazy, yo. Yeah, but
Or instead of the other way, you look like
get
me.
your face. Let's see your face.
Come on.
Mom, you clearly didn't hear my
I
excuse.
haven't seen you in a while.
Sunday's here.
Thanks for the misdirection, Grit.
So yeah, this is an example of my household. Everyone's loud.
Nah, came in with the misdirection and saved me. Like,
Tried to hold it down.
yo, this joint was very, very fly, man. I like how you really dope, bro. Really dope.
What were your
Everybody
questions?
involved, man, really dope. So the question I was gonna ask one of the artists, it was during it was the experience one, and I think she was talking about I can't remember exactly what she was saying, but I was gonna ask her when it comes to because I don't really consider myself really like a creative like that. Maybe in business or something, I come with pretty good ideas, but I was gonna ask how much when it comes to the art, how much is innate and how much is experience?
When it comes to the art, you said?
Yeah, when it comes to drawing, how much do you rely on what's inside of you versus your experiences. Like how much of your experience are put into a painting versus what your God-given talent is. Cause you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like I was gonna ask that because as she was talking about it, I was kind of intrigued.
He was
because,
going deep.
Yo, I was like, wow, I ain't even, you know.
Yeah.
This is real deep. So I was just.
She's not on now, but maybe Marissa can answer that. She's another painter. Marissa, what you think?
I mean, as you could tell from the rest of the ensemble, you know, I'm fresh off the boat, so I don't know how much I could lend to that. What was the question in terms of how does your painting relate to your experiences?
More so to your experiences, or lend to more of like the talent?
I don't know. I came off that artist train about into this after party.
You said what?
It's funny.
I don't know. I don't know if I understand the question that well.
Namdi, why don't you give it a shot?
Yeah, just give it a little, give me some more context and I'll do my best.
Okay.
Well, one thing I remember that Marissa said on me was that she wasn't very experienced and that she learned by herself. Did you mean something like that? Like, or did you mean like if she went to like formal schooling, like if you would do it via your professional formal school versus your natural raw talent?
I don't even know if Namdi's even in here anymore.
See, this is why we can't take him seriously.
See, I could have answered a great, you know, I could have given a great answer. He would have not been there. So
this is normal, guys.
Missing in action.
Namdi is hilarious, yo.
Here 1 minute, going next.
What is wrong with him, yo?
It was a good question.
It was a deep question, yo. It's like, dude.
Now I'm getting
I had it a little bit more, I would have. Radio silent.
Yeah, I'm like,
I think it's the deepness to took it out of him. Probably knocked out. Oh, no.
I'm being bragging.
This dude's a funny guy. Oh, so I'm having issues with my page.
Hello.
No, you're not doing this right now.
No, I had to click over.
Did you give my answer to the question?
Inspired me.
No, I had to click over.
Give my answer to the question. It was really thought-provoking. Can everyone vouch for that?
Oh, my bad.
Namdi,
I'm sorry.
Wildly.
I'm sorry.
Yo.
You gotta put your camera on now.
All right, so I'm
paying attention.
Silence, Grit.
Yo, you're hilarious, bro.
I just I had a call. I had to click over. And I clicked back in. What happened? What did I do?
Yo.
It's unbelievable.
Yes, you are unbelievable, dog.
Wait, so hold on. So the question, was the question answered?
We was real deep.
Oh my gosh, bro.
I not getting an answer, I guess.
No, not tonight.
You're not getting an answer.
To the question?
Oh nah, it's over, bro.
How do you know I didn't answer it already?
Oh yeah, that's what I was kind of asking. Can I get like a yeah, like what was the answer to it?
Yo.
Can I have the question one more time? And I'll do my best to answer it.
You don't remember.
Yeah. So like, so I think it was on the experience when I really had the question, but Olga didn't call on me. He never does. So literally, I guess it was more like about the inspiration. Like when, as a creative, painting, where does like your inspiration come from? Is it more like internal or like external? Is it like your environment?
Well, the choose come.
Like, I mean,
put your phone on mute.
Yeah, so does it come, I mean, because obviously I can't answer on behalf of the artist that would have done that segment, but for me personally, I feel like inspiration comes outwardly, like spiritually for me. So I feel like I don't necessarily see the colors that I'll work with, but I'll kind of go with the momentum of the piece or the subject that I'm doing. So sometimes if I know the person really well, that in itself kind of guides maybe like, especially color is really important and integral to like my work and the mood and the essence of that person. So I feel like my inspiration definitely comes outwardly, but then it doesn't really come outwardly in terms of, actually no, like I can actually look at like photos and paintings, or I can see like a color combination of something like when I'm out and about and be like, oh, you know, wouldn't that be interesting to put on a piece? But in terms of the inspiration behind my art, if it comes internally, I don't know if it comes, I feel like it comes from outward inspirations and spiritually as well, I think, for me.
For sure. Were you here for that?
Nah, I just got back. Can you repeat that, please? I'm just joking. No, that was really a good answer. Thank you. Oh, seriously. So I feel like when we were talking about, when I saw the paintings and everybody was talking about them, I mean, I always know that art is very deep and stuff, but I was really, when I was listening, I was like, wow, there's got to be a lot going on internally that's expressed externally. I know there's a lot of influence from the outside, but when you talk about spiritually, like what comes from within that affects that painting? Because everyone's painting is different, and listening to you guys talk, I was just like, wow. I just wanted to know if that was something that you guys actually tapped into when you're painting and if you're aware of it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely feel the energy. Like if I feel like, I don't know, like there's colors that kind of come together that I would have not naturally put together, like I get a sense of excitement. I get a sense of excitement at the fact that, wow, like I would have never, you know, I always look at the pieces I do and I'm like, how did this come together? Like I actually step back and be like, nah, God was involved in this. Like, because again, like I never have a preconceived idea totally of like what I'm gonna do. So there's that, I feel like there is that like intimate relationship. I think you even say in your book, Bradley, of like relationships is like art pieces. Like it can kind of go one or two ways. And I think it's this like unique journey of like kind of like I feel the disconnect sometimes when I'm like literally looking at someone like, nah, this doesn't make sense. I'm not listening. I'm not taking in the piece. And a lot of times it is, I'm literally praying like the whole time while I'm like painting. So that's my way of like just trying to like get that guidance. And most times it's not, I don't know, you know, like it's like maths, it's like things just make sense. Like certain equations and stuff make sense. And for me, it's like certain colors make sense, some don't. Or some that I wouldn't think would make sense. It's like, okay, let me just try it. I'm getting this nudge to try this. Let me like go with it and experiment with it. So it is a free flowing process. I'm not confined to anything to be like, no, like I said, this piece was going to be green. It's going to be green. Like it can change in the process. So yeah, I think it's being patient. It is a process, I think, for sure.
Sure.
Interesting. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're dope. Really dope.
Oh, thanks.
Any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. Can Nandi show his face?
Oh, you asked for that one. You should have questions for the guests. You know, you got to be specific.
Oh my gosh.
Mom asking me questions. Mama.
Yo. Mom.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you for joining, Mom.
No, I don't even want to talk to you today. You did very well, but I didn't hear my name several times. So
you heard it though.
I did not hear it. I did not.
Mom, what do you mean?
And when Keisha was talking about her mom, I thought that was
Keisha.
I knew that was gonna come. I knew it. Once I knew it.
When
Keisha
Keisha
who?
was talking about her mom, that's when I figured maybe you must have, that must have like
So you know you got to give her that just due.
trigger something. So I don't even wanna.
Oh, Letticia. I was like,
You're in
Keisha.
trouble.
Keisha.
You're in trouble. Oh,
Yeah,
Yo, as soon as Letticia said my mom, my dad, I was like, oh man.
But you could have just made it up then, and said, yes.
I think when mom just hears
I
mom
deserve it,
and
don't
dad, she's like, So if someone can.
Mom, of course, Mom, you deserve everything.
Yeah,
come
I
on,
deserve
man.
it, so I need to hear it.
He was just caught up, but he radiated that. He did.
I'm
He did
your
mention.
Totally.
I already knew. Once I heard Letticia say that, I already knew what mom was thinking. I was like, here we go.
I'm your number one ally. What are you talking about? Yeah.
Letticia, you heard?
She deserves a
Snapped
medal.
on you, Grit.
You tell Letticia she deserves a medal. Yes.
She snapped on you, Grit.
Oh, you're so lovely. But Brad was so nice about you too.
Yeah. You didn't hear that, Mom?
And Marissa, you are so great. You're so sweet too. You.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
That touches my heart. Thank you.
Yeah. Don't mind my son because he.
What?
He did
said some really nice things. He said some really beautiful things. He's like, you know what? If it wasn't for my mom, everyone went silent because there was tears in our eyes.
Who said that? Who said that? He said that.
He said that. We all heard it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I did not hear that. I
Yeah,
apologize.
he 100% did. He had a moment where he was thanking everyone, just saying, thank you for our artists, thank you for everyone showing up. And then he said, no, hold on. It's about my mama. So he went in and had a solid...
No, but it wasn't today, right?
Auntie, he gave you a special shout out today.
Yo, Mom.
Mom,
it
was
Auntie,
today.
He had a whole moment for you. He gave you a special
Did you
shout
hear
out.
it?
Auntie, I promise he said it.
He did.
Okay.
Don't worry.
I apologize.
They had
My bad. I'm sorry. I apologize.
You had a headlock there. You're like, oh,
I'm flying out, Mom. I'm flying out tomorrow, so I'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, great. Now I feel good.
Yeah.
I cover in the blood of Jesus. Safe trip.
Amen. Amen.
All right, guys. I gotta go. Love you.
Hey, love you, Mom.
Hi, Mama.
Let me let you young people finish up your party.
You young too, Mom.
Younger heart.
Mama, is it only Brad you covered?
Hey.
Who's that right there? That's Ike.
Only Brad you covered? You not covering all his Brad's friends?
Who is that?
We need the prayers from Mom, you know that?
Yes, I cover all of you guys.
Hey,
in the blood of Jesus. Amen. May you do more exploits.
Amen.
Okay, and soar like an eagle.
Exploits.
Exploits.
Right. All right.
No.
Yo, I can't.
Oh gosh.
Exploits.
Your family.
Mom wants us to exploit, man.
I love it.
Super dope, old man. I gotta come out to Cali soon, man. I love the energy. I love everything, man. So
how about you just come down to Hamden tomorrow?
We're in Miami. I'm gonna come down there probably Thursday. Probably Thursday. Wednesday.
Oh, all right. I'm looking forward to it.
What you making? Honestly, I'm not even gonna talk about last year's mac and cheese. Next, we're done.
I didn't make last year's mac and cheese.
Yeah, she did.
Shut up.
Oh, Mom, you're still here? Wow.
No, I'm sorry. I thought I was leaving.
Sheesh. Flying great. I'm sorry.
Man, of course.
Okay.
I'm just joking. But this year.
Hold up. First and foremost, y'all ain't even know what mac and cheese was until I brought it to the family.
What? Great. Oh, are you doing the cheesecake? Oh.
Yeah, he said he is.
What? When did
What
we
you mean,
discuss
nah? Why you saying
anything?
so nonchalantly like that? He's like, nah.
Bro, I'm coming back east to chill.
ShopRite will be open
And
tomorrow.
we need
Go
that
there with
cheesecake.
Uncle Plain.
Bro.
So if
Yeah,
y'all
I
don't
might.
know,
I'm pretty
O
sure.
makes the best cheesecake. In fact, we might need to package that soon. You know.
Why did you not make that when I was
None
there?
less. All I heard
You
is
feel me? You played me,
Where
man.
was the cheesecake?
O's
You played
cheesecake
me. I was
is.
gassed off the pancakes,
Lumpkins,
man.
you didn't let nobody try your cheesecake out there?
Oh,
Nah, man.
You ain't
I
tell
was
him?
gassed off the pancakes, and now you're
Yeah,
telling
the
me about the
pancakes, the
cheesecake.
coconut pancakes.
Oh, he makes pancakes? Since
Yes, he
when?
makes pancakes.
Oh, he's playing all of us one by one.
Yo, you the flapjack champ? Let me find out. No.
Oh my gosh. Yo, man, a little bit of everything, you know?
I'm so glad I stuck around for this.
Eclectic,
Oh wait,
man.
you really made good cheesecake?
Yeah, he the truth. He's the
Yeah,
truth.
he's
He's
the
really
truth.
good.
He is really the truth.
Yeah, his
What flavor?
As long as he sticks to the same recipe and doesn't try anything different, he's the truth.
What flavor does he make?
strawberry.
I love
Strawberry.
the reviews.
One time he tried to put a little pineapple on it. I don't know.
That was good.
That did not work out.
When did he put pineapple on it?
That was gross when he did that.
I didn't try that. I don't remember that one. I
Yeah,
don't like. Why would you put
he
pineapple on
tried to be
cheesecake
good.
anyway?
I told him to just stick to the
Yeah,
script.
that sounds strange.
That's not a good thing.
Was it pineapple? I think it was something else.
No,
I
I
don't
think
try to change it. You was trying to be creative.
Yeah, I think it was like apricot gel.
Nah, that's unacceptable. That's unacceptable on every level. He didn't do that. Apricot gel.
He did.
I don't even like apricots.
That is
so I do
unacceptable,
actually.
Greg.
But
It
I
was
would
some
never.
kind of pureed fruit. I don't know what.
First of all, I'm traumatized because at the Pancake House, nobody uses the apricot syrup. We used to use the
Ever.
maple syrup.
I use the
Apricot was nasty. That's because you're disgusting. Nobody puts apricot syrup on their pancakes. That's nasty.
I don't even like pancakes.
So now you tell us after years of going to the Pancake House.
Yeah, where's C, man? Tell that boy I said I need to see him, man.
You know, he was on real early. His face was actually up on the screen, but then he ghosted.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. He's been on it throughout, though, but I don't know if he's present.
Oh, okay.
I told him to come in.
Yeah, he definitely was.
Right.
Yeah.
He definitely was. He was commenting and everything.
Namdi, aren't you right next to him? Aren't you guys in Miami?
Yeah, I'm in my room. He's probably in his room.
So go knock on the door.
I mean, it's quiet, so he's probably sleeping or something.
All right. Wake him up.
You guys want me to wake him up? That's kind of... You do know it's midnight over here.
So, it's midnight here too.
5 in the morning over here.
Yeah, it's
I was going to say, it's really 5.
Dana, what time is it where you are?
Actually,
You've been beat.
6 in the morning.
See,
Yo.
Namdi? You're talking about midnight.
6 in the morning. Hold up. Oh, wait. Yeah, Europe. Yeah.
It's in Denmark.
Oh my goodness. Denmark?
Oh, that's like by Norway.
Dina, you're in Denmark.
Sweden. Finland.
So, do you have supermalt in your country? Because you lot produce supermalt. No, because I only found out years ago that it's Denmark that produce supermalt. So, do you have tons of it out there?
What did he say?
What does
it
Supermalt. Denmark produce supermalt. So, do you have tons of supermalt in Denmark?
There's no way. There's no way.
See how he's enunciated his words. He needs this information to be heard clearly.
Malta? Do you mean to drink Malta?
No, not Malta.
What?
You can't compare
No,
the two.
supermalt specifically.
Supermalt, you won't even find it in Nigeria. But I'm telling you, it's the best malt drink, and it's produced in Denmark.
Isn't that the same as Malta?
No, there's no comparison.
Really?
Wow.
At all.
Oh, wow.
It's a thing.
Supermalt.
heard about it?
Yeah,
Denmark.
your country produces that drink. So if you don't know, try to like get your hands on it. That's all.
See, I gotta try that now because I'm a big multi drinker.
Athena, please
it's
let
a
me know
rarity, man.
if you get your hands on Supermalt. Let me know what that flavor's like.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Let
know
me know if you've
supermalt.
got
A lot of
exclusive.
Jamaicans drink that.
Yes, see, yeah, it will be in
Yes.
Jamaica.
But
Yeah. It's rare in other countries. You don't see it in other countries there.
Yeah,
But Denmark are the actual country that produce it. You would
and
think
you're
it's
right.
an
It is
African
very
country, but it's
good.
Denmark.
Yeah, no, it's
It's
not.
so dope.
It is very good. It is.
It's super dope, man.
Was that intentional?
What?
Super dope.
Super dope, super more. We all super.
Oh no, it wasn't. Just yeah.
Who's Niraku?
What?
Kiru a bit
Who's
listen.
Kiruka, excuse me.
Nkiru?
Nkiruka.
Nkiruka.
That's
I've seen them there
Ain't that
early.
your mom's friends?
Yeah, you talking about Nkiru, right?
Mom, no.
Yo, mom is still here? That's what it
No,
is.
I
thought
just.
she was going.
Mom,
Why you serious?
Mom is
You must
working.
get parents by now.
No, she made a mistake. She made a mistake.
Exclusive tea.
Just
Oh,
listen,
do you not
Marissa,
get
tell
parents
them
by
to
now?
back
Did you
off.
think she was gone?
I will, Auntie. Don't
She'll
worry. I
say
have your back.
bye so she can listen into the conversation.
No, I wasn't listening. I just heard Nkiru. And then.
So you were listening.
So she was
No,
listening.
I was
I
talking
just
with my
heard-
brother, seriously, and then I heard Nkiru, so
No, Auntie, you
it just.
don't have to explain yourself. Don't explain yourself.
They always make me too.
Don't explain yourself to these people. Don't lower yourself to that. It's okay.
No, they don't realize, that I'm their mom. So sometimes they think I'm their friend. No, I'm not.
Exactly.
I'm
Never.
their mom.
Never.
Yeah.
You hear that, Bradley? Never.
Oh my gosh.
Mom,
better
you
not
know
work this
that
lady
button on
up.
the top that says leave? That's
I'm leaving right now. No, the red button. No, I'm not gonna hit that one.
See, I want you to stay.
I just did unmute. Period.
No, you could if you press that leave button, watch what's gonna happen.
No, I love you guys' faces. I want to be seeing those faces while I'm working.
Guys.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I love my babies to
Oh,
death.
give me the info.
Yo, that's hilarious.
I have my own number.
We love you too, Mom.
Always.
You see, it's only Nani that acknowledged that.
I love you too, Mom. Sunday was talking to me.
I was not trying to get any brownie points, FYI.
I love all
I was
of you.
not.
You guys are all my kids.
I'm not a brown
okay?
noser.
Oh, thanks, Auntie.
Including Adina, Marissa, and everybody else on this platform. I love you guys.
Aw.
Yeah,
Love
may
you
the
too,
Lord
Auntie.
open doors for you guys that they will never shut. All right?
Amen.
Open doors, open doors.
Yes.
Amen.
If you're not married, I want you to get the right man.
Here we go.
Or the
Signing
right
off.
woman.
And
Good night,
away
guys.
we go. Okay.
Oh,
All right, guys.
you know that's for your benefit
You
right there.
guys. Thank you,
May you
bless.
find the right spouse in
Here
Jesus'
we
name.
go.
Okay, I'm
Amen.
leaving. I'm leaving. Bye. I'm leaving. I'm sorry.
Don't be.
Yo, Mom.
Man, if I had $1 every time I heard that.
This turned into a whole dating line.
Listen, you know what she's going to do.
I mean, this line has transitioned from food to relationships. I mean,
Verge.
Yo, Mom's just wild.
Hey, on the verge of everything, man.
Yo. Man, that's crazy. Yeah, I'm really glad you guys tuned in. I know it's a little bit late now. I want to, Adina been working all day. I want to give her some time. But Adina, so we could check in tomorrow. I know, actually, can you hand me the ball for the host? And we can't check in tomorrow because I'll be flying out tomorrow, but Monday morning, like usual. Yeah. Monday morning. Thank you for, and then can you send me the recording?
Yes, let me stop it because we have all this on recording.
Oh, wow.